Hello, my heroes and villains. It is me, the illustrious Saus Grand, Major Slime Extraordinaire, and we're back in Unicorn Overlord. Now, I have some good news. I have some bad news. You might be able to get a sense of what the bad news is if you are watching the screen. I was mixing up Auk and Aubin. So the good news, I fixed up a lot of my parties. This is the only, bad one right now. Galadimir is not going to stay in the Knights of the Rose Sapphic, extended Sapphic Polycule. Probably will get a Angel in there at some point. But most of my parties are really good now. I went and ground out the Colosseum near completely. So a lot of characters now have really good AP PP. A lot of the at least key characters are maxed out on one or both stats. This Bestial team has been doing really well. And then of course, we've got the main squad and the power squad. I did also realize in doing stuff that I had a item on Selvi that lowered her PP, which was stupid. It has been replaced. Also, switch that. But yeah, so that's the good news. Everybody's really strong. Everything's really good now. I think Bernice benefited from some. Here's the bad news. I got every remaining rapport that I can between the characters I currently have. A lot of these are one-off, so it shouldn't be that bad, but this is a fucking lot. So this is what we're doing today. This is why we're having the bonus episode, and I'm not just not doing stuff today. Yeah, I did it without really thinking, and then I opened the map and I went, oh, well, I've already done so many of these on stream, I'm gonna finish them. But yeah, so that's what today is gonna be. I do think I have a little bit left to get in the Colosseum. Let me actually check.
Got nothing but the best
I could just get all of these, so, I don't really care.
How can I help you?
I did not, I intentionally didn't get these. But I've gotten... There are still a few PP upper things that I can get, but I've gotten a ton of them for the characters that I know that need them. Basically, anything that could get AP or PP, I went and got for things. I got this and put it on Gilbert, specifically because not to use Quick Impetuous. I have no intent to ever actually use that. It's PP and initiative, which for him is great. But to show how long it's been, here's our current save, 71 hours. Here's the save before. That is a little misleading, because I think my actual most recent save was this save that I saved over, but this isn't far behind where we were. So, yeah. Just a little bit of grinding. I also did all of the sigils that I hadn't done yet, I think. And ground the Alpha Quarry and got the maps for that. But yeah, let's go talk to some people. I'm just doing it in whatever order we find them. Oh, also, party-wise, we just have these two left to make 5 out of 5. Give you Aubin scenes for motivation? There are Aubin scenes. I know there's a few. Whether we will find them soon, I don't know. Podrick and Yana. Good day, Lady Yana.
Same to you, my little Hodrick. But tell me, is there a reason you seem so flustered?
Well, I had a child's crush on you as a young boy, and now you're young and hot again, so, you know, it's doing things to me.
Go on. If you have something to say, then come out and say it.
In truth, your choice of clothing is rather revealing, is it not?
Is that what all this fuss is about? I much prefer the mobility it provides, especially compared to a bulky suit of armor like yours.
Hey, I mean, most of the characters that he's talking to were in the desert, so yeah, they're probably mostly gonna be in the desert. I think he had some that were, like, weird that aren't, but, again, I'm just gonna run around and pick up whatever we pick up. Probably, like, in the order that we went through stuff. Maybe I'll do, the elf lands before Dragonhold.
Besides, you can always just look away if you don't like it.
No, the problem is he likes it too much.
As for me, I plan to enjoy my newfound youth however I please, and wearing these clothes is but one part of that. After all, they wouldn't quite suit a wizened old court sorceress, now would they?
I suppose not. In that case, I shall strive to respect your choice in attire, Lady Yana.
Really, we should be able to wear exactly what we want. That includes you, my little Hodrick. Have you ever considered taking off all that stuffy metal for a moment?
Yes, and he won't. We actually have a tragic backstory about that. I can do no such thing. The day I remove my armor is the day I fail my duty as the shield of the liberation.
Somehow I knew you'd say that.
Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna say Nabbies from the archive. I hope you enjoy your stay. Donna and Joseph.
I had always believed you made it out alive, but still shocked to see you actually standing here in the flesh. And a personal advisor to the prince, no less.
It has been far too long, Lady Yana.
Why the formality, Joseph? Is it uncomfortable having an ally who knew you when you were just a child?
It is indeed, especially given the endless trouble my younger self made for you.
I remember it well, even after all those years. And every time I scolded you for acting out, you'd turn around and do something worse the next day. Like the time you hung jars from transparent strings to make it seem like a sorcerer had invaded the castle.
I can't believe he's the terror. He's got the carbon nanotubes. I miss Nirvana Initiative.
Or the time you hid in one of the suits of armor which lined the halls, just so you could jump out and scare me as I walked by. This was all before you'd become a squire, of course.
Even still.
Between you and Hodrick, we had no shortage of troublemakers roaming the castle during King Gerard's reign. But if nothing else, at least the two of you kept things interesting.
It is a relief to hear you say so. Yet I must ask that you never speak a word of these matters to anyone else.
Don't worry, Joseph. I'll take these stories with me to the grave. Though it's funny to think about. All that mischief you used to get into, yet here you are having raised the prince into a respectable young man.
I deserve no credit, Yana. Such character is in his very nature, and any other gross owes to the friends he made while living on Palavia.
So you say, but mere friends can never replace the father figure you've been to him. Or the time you spent bringing joy back into that lonely child's life.
Ah, yes. The pure, wonderful, respectable child who has romanced every woman that has crossed his path. The other motivation part from my characters is to both are jaded mercenaries that still have compassion for their allies, initially set out to be heroes, now rekindling that lost dream, otherwise very different character backstories. You should check out, or like read a little bit on Vasaraga from Grand Blue. That might also help, because that's very similar to him. Vasaraga's whole characterization is he was a Skyfarer that, like, his whole crew was, killed. He was the only one that made it out, so now he, like, got the society's augmentation, in order to make it so that he could just be a living shield. He's a great character. All the society are great characters, but I really do like Vasaraga. Ah, Nina.
Yana, who were you speaking to just now?
Oh yeah, so Nina had probably the biggest change with how I upgraded stuff with her. I made it so that she is really low initiative. I took away pursuit from her, but she gets 4 attacks, because I gave her 4 AP, and she, like everyone in her class gets the skill that anytime an ally is attacked, she gets buffed. So she's just gonna shit out big damage now.
Who are you speaking to just now? Oh, merely one of the swamp's resident crows. You can converse with crows? What kind of witch would I be if I couldn't? Communing with animals is one of the first things we learn how to do. Sorry, just a little joke. It was actually an acquaintance in the village who's transformed into a crow. And I can't talk to horses or griffins, in case you were wondering. Yes, that would have been rather surprising. But I have to wonder, why did that witch decide to turn herself into a bird? For the mobility, according to her. That and the desire to change who she was. It's all too common here in the swamp. Many of my apprentices have left to start new lives as different animals entirely. And while there's nothing wrong with doing so per se, I find it to all be a bit of a shame. Only one you exists in the world, and I can't see the reason for wanting to discard that.
The world ends with you.
Haven't you ever wished to be someone else, Yana?
I mean, she's young now.
In a sense, I suppose. Years ago, I wished to grow into a powerful sorceress just like my old master was. But that didn't mean I wanted to be her. Such dreams only become reality through the inner strengths you bear deep within. And once you've achieved them, you can take pride in knowing it was your effort which got you there, and yours alone. That's actually why I joined the Liberation to begin with, to find the dream I was willing to pursue. So while the journey ahead might yet be long, I'm proud of myself for even taking the first step. As you should be.
I actually should go over the team changes a little bit. So we have in Melly's unit now. Melly's in the back line. I said what Nina's stuff is. And we have Unifi with really, really high dodge, as well as Liza here. So the idea for this is she'll do her counters when she dodges, because she just needs to be targeted. And then Liza has a great shield. And a bunch of pursuit type things. Melly's just gonna rip and tear. I do want to give her more PP eventually, probably, but I'm happy with the swords and stuff that she has right now. It's like 80% crit rate's crazy. And yeah, I said what Nina is. They're the same. Galadimir's gonna leave at some point. I put her in here just to have a magic thing and a healer-ish. But I'm gonna put a real healer in. There's one of the few characters left on the art, like the cover art for Unicorn Overlord is a angel healer, so I'm gonna put them in there. Unchanged, just, stronger. I put Raylanor here specifically so that we could see her and she wasn't buried by the horses. These two have, like, infinite pursuits. He has, when he uses this, he will have over 100% crit chance. So Leaping Strike will just give him attack after attack after attack. And on top of his pursuits. They're defensive, he has the, big Bestial defense thing. Beast strong together. They're the same that they've been, they just have magic with them now. I moved Leah here because she's still good. I guess that's mostly the changes that were made. Because this is the same, just stronger, this is the same, just stronger, and this is the same, just stronger. Travis and Joseph. Old man's getting a lot of play.
Should have known it wouldn't be that easy.
How went the negotiations, Travis?
Not so good, sorry to say. With the world we're living in, no merc worth their salt will ever join us on the cheap.
It's an inevitable fact of life, I suppose.
The tougher they are, the more they're gonna cost us, and not a one of them's willing to cut a deal. Sorry I couldn't be much help.
It's no problem at all. You do more for our war effort than I believe you realize. Not only are you the finest scout in all of Cornea, but a steady hand in even the most trying of times.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say so.
Yet alas, the Liberation's funds are rather limited, and ensuring we all have proper equipment shall be far more vital than hiring 1 or 2 costly mercenaries. Let us return to this venture at another time.
Right. I'll hold off on any further negotiations until then.
You have my thanks, Travis. I'm certain you shall see this through soon enough. Hello, Lilystorm 9. How are you on this day? It's really fun. Path of Radiance and similar things. You have infinite money in that game. But, like, I look at the amount of money I have and the lack of things that I spend, and I'm like, yep, our funds are definitely tight. It is also really funny how many of these, because I was thinking this when I was getting these reports, how many of these are, like, ones I should have gotten early. I would rather you not promote in chat. Pardon the curiosity, Hodrick, but how are you feeling? Much better now, thank you. As you can see, I am more than capable of... Yeah, this is supposed to be, like, right after you got him, when he was, right after he'd stopped being possessed. Pray rest a moment. Nora had their talents in you for far too many years. And though their spell may be broken, we know not what ill effects it may have imparted upon your body. A valid point, yes. Yet in truth, what pains me now is not some vague magical spasm, but the wounds I received from fighting Prince Elaine. Worry not. I don't blame him for what happened. In fact, I'm rather grateful. And I am still impressed he managed to find a way past my armor. As am I. Yet his prowess does not surprise me, not after years of diligent work under my tutelage. It is nice to see your blade has not lost its brilliance either, Joseph. Or shall it, not until Cornea's throne is ours once more. For now, Hodrick, tend to your wounds. The long road yet to march. I think most of the, like, early squad had multiple conversations with each other. Chloe and Joseph. I pray my fears are unfounded, and yet... I believe it is best that we investigate, my prince, to be truly certain, if nothing else. It is as you say, Joseph. Commence the search at once. It shall be done, your highness. Might I help you with something, Chloe? You seem to have been studying our conversation with some intrigue.
Oh, it's nothing too important. I just can't help but notice how similar you and His Majesty look at times.
I mean, Joseph is basically his dad. That's not surprising. That's so. I hope they consider our appearances comparable.
Not like that. It's more in your mannerisms, if anything. Things like the way you both put your hand to your chin when you...
They sure do. I never actually noticed that. I can't say I've noticed such parallels.
I suppose it makes sense that His Majesty would take after you, though. Not only did you teach him the blade, of course, but royal etiquette and demeanor as well.
Indeed. I've endeavored to guide him in every manner possible these past 10 years. But I often struggled in knowing how to best treat the young prince. A weakness stemming from the fact I had never raised a child of my own.
When you say that, that's exactly what you did with him. Almost like a real father and son.
If that be the case, pray he's not inherited my flaws as well.
Don't worry, I haven't noticed any. In either of you, actually. But I will say, it's fun watching the two of you read scouting reports the exact same way.
I should think you'd have more important things to focus on amidst our war councils.
Oh, I mean, I'm always listening, I swear it.
Forgive me, Chloe. It was merely a joke. Yeah, Chloe's one that I don't think we have to worry about slacking.
From you, sir?
Take it as a symbol of trust, if you wish. But do be careful not to grow complacent in our councils. Chloe's just generally really observant. She's had a few conversations like that where she's noticed little details in people. Hey, Hopper and Joseph too. I don't remember if any of them have 3. Like, Elaine might have 3 with some, but I I don't know that any regular people did. Good eve, Hodrick. This is something on your mind. Memories, yes. Vague remembrances of that horrible day 10 years past. I should have surmised as much. Tell me, did Queen Elenia meet a dignified end? I can't remember. My last recollection is charging into battle, full prepared to lay down my life in her defense. And when next I was in control of my mind, a staggering amount of time had passed. It felt as though it was one long dream, drifting on the edge of consciousness as my body bent to an unknown will. 10 years. 10 years I served as Zenoria's thrall. You've no choice of your own, Hodrick. If anyone should blame themselves for what happened that day, 'tis me. For all we could have known, Zenorian civilians had perished centuries ago. Zenorian civilization. And Valmore's declaration seemed little more than the idle ravings of a man gone mad. Even now, with all of Fevris under his command, we've yet to learn his true aim in this war. Yeah, actually, I still don't really know what his plan is. I fear this campaign will be unlike any we have ever known. Indeed. The task of defending His Highness and the others rests upon our shoulders, Hodrick. I wonder if that dialogue line would change if I get to the point where we do know what's going on before this. Tis one I'll not fail again. I swear it upon the man I once was, and upon Queen Elenia herself. Oh god, I think we might get enough honors to pop another party to 5 through all of this.
Tennessee Martin.
Sure is. I was starting to wonder if you'd gone and gotten yourself killed.
Yeah, like that would happen. Never thought I'd find you for liberation, though. And working for free, no less.
I could say the same thing about you. You're not exactly what I'd call a righteous warrior kind of girl, after all.
I used to be. Not sentimentally.
I mean, that's not true. You were in the Knights.
But there's something different about him. A real fire in his eyes.
Sounding to me like you're falling for the kid.
Maybe I have.
Ha! Next you'll tell me you saw swine sprout wings and fly off into the sunset.
Hilarious, Morden. Really, though. It's been years since I've actually enjoyed fighting like this. Years since I've found someone strong enough to keep up with me.
Well, I'm happy to hear it. But you're wrong about me working for free. Once that kid is sitting on the throne, he's gonna pay me back for everything I've done. Just you wait. I'll be sleeping on a bed of solid gold, holding tight till the finest meat this land's ever seen.
That's more like the Morden I know.
The thing I have left is we have this shop. Oh, there's actually one in stock for Lapis Pendants. There's a bunch of stuff still to get from this, but I'm like, I don't know. One, I don't know actually like how to get many more Divine Shards at this point. Also, I think this and the Lapis Pendant is all I actually really care about. Just because this is another base PP. I mean, I guess these, but eh. Oh, there's one right up here. Clive and Joseph. Here we are, the province of Ash and Blue. 10 long years have passed since that fateful day, yet I've finally returned. Owing wholly to you, yes. Had you not preserved in pursuing my foolish dream, this moment would ever have remained mere fantasy. Yet I was only willing to do so because I had nothing left to hold dear. The day Zenora seized these lands, I lost everything. Indeed. Though without your father's bold defiance, I wager you'd be... Though without your father's bold defiance, I'd wager you'd not be standing here now. All the same, perhaps surrender would have been the wiser course of action. Zenora slaughtered the entire house as punishment. My mother, my sister, and even our retainers were put to the sword. The only so spared was me.
I often wonder, Sir Joseph, was my father's decision the correct one? Not only was our family slain, but the very province he sought to protect fell as an oil in a matter of days. To the question which besets my mind nigh every time I close my eyes. Yet perhaps that's why I find it easier to simply march forward, spear in hand. I can only assume I inherited such stubbornness from my father. Even so, I would not see you held prisoner to your past. Your deeds have saved a great many in these lands, and they shall see you save a great many more before this war is concluded. You understand, Clive? I do. Thank you, Sir Joseph.
Kitra and Sharon.
Lesbians. Up you go. Oh. Ha! I feel like this would kill them. Kitra, stop! You mustn't harm those poor animals. Just look at how safely they've landed on the other side. And don't worry, Sharon, I'm not hurting them. Just sit back and watch, yeah? But... Ha! No, I would kill them. Anyway, those chickens were just staring at the river when I got here. Almost like they were trying to find a way across. I figured I'd help. And a quick couple of smacks was a lot faster than trying to get them over the bridge. That's quite the method, yes. But it appears to have been an effective one, if nothing else. I must say, I'm always surprised to see the power your slender frame is capable of producing. I can't imagine the harsh training you must have gone through to reach this point. I wouldn't call it training, really. I mostly just messed around when I was a kid. Smacking my friends with pillows or catching huge fish with my bare hands. It's no wonder I ended up going for the hammer after that. I mean, it's basically the same kind of stuff, just with metal now. My parents never came around to it, though. Kept trying to get me to ride a horse like a proper knight. A familiar struggle. But am I, Kitra? You're every once the knight they wished you to become, and much more. I just hope they agree with you on that. Hammer Lady Sexy. That is my onion. Lady Knight also sexy, but Hammer Lady sexy. It's still really funny to me. There's the chunk of the starting area we still can't go to. I say can't go to. We probably could beat the game with the power I have right now. But obviously we're not going to. Come on. Rolf and Hawk. I care so much about this conversation. Why won't this work? Are you almost done, Hawk? I'll be needing those chickens for dinner soon. Just be more moments if you would. I've not quite perfected my shape-shifting spell. Yes, I can see that. But you've been at this all day and not grown the slightest bit closer to success. What do you expect? This is sorcery, not child's play. If I could only master its ways, I'd finally earn my rightful praise. My rightful praise as the prince's body double. Or perhaps the art is better left to the witches of the accursed swamp instead. What do you mean? From the moment they're born, they spend their entire lives surrounded by magic. Even children are capable of incredible spells. This makes me wish I had been raised in such a manner too. Maybe then my mother would have appreciated me for who I was. I can't claim to understand how you feel, Locke, but there's little point dwelling on hypotheticals. You think I don't know that? Well, despite all the time you spend berating yourself, you're actually a rather accomplished sorcerer. As you more than demonstrated in our most recent battle. All I ask is that you take pride in that. Recognize your skill as I've come to do. Hey. You're far kinder than your miserable demeanor tends to suggest. I'm sorry. Now then, observe the triumph of my final attempt. Ha! Well, I mean, he did it. Incredible. It's nigh impossible to tell you apart from the other chickens. Is there something wrong, Hawk? Can you not change yourself back? I'll have to find help right away. Another sorcerer, perhaps? Or maybe a chicken farmer? If I leave him unattended, someone might carry him off to the kitchens by mistake. Oh, wait! That's where Chloe's preparing dinner! Alright. Fine.
fine. That was better than I thought it would be. Okay, and they had another one somewhere. Karen and Bruno. This is gonna be an interesting one.
Another fine morning, blessed by the Father's divine grace. I think a short rest is in order to celebrate the occasion. Perhaps on that boulder over there.
It's not a boulder, that's Bruno.
Ah, how lovely.
The hell do you think you're doing?
My word, that boulder just speak to me.
Who are you calling a boulder?
I meant no harm. A talking rock. Wait, is that you, Bruno?
Of course it is, but I don't get the feeling you thought otherwise.
What? No, I would never confuse your muscular back for mere stone. Well, I suppose there's no point attempting to hide it. Forgive me for leaning on you.
Ah, it's fine. It was kind of my fault too for crouching down like that. Sorry for scaring you, Sharon.
And what were you doing over there, if you don't mind me asking?
A cat.
What was that?
I found a cat, okay? Poor thing was hurting real bad, so I figured I'd try and fix him up.
And what an adorable little kitten he is. Assuming you don't mind, I would be glad to heal him with some of my magic. With my help, your friend here will be back on his paws in no time.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Thank you, Bruno. It'll be just a moment.
Kitty. I love cats. Cats are great civilization.
Ha!
Getting some training in Kitra? Can't pretend I'm surprised. Swinging the hammer better than I could. Better than almost anyone could, really. And once you get going with it, only a fool would ever think about standing in your way. And not to interrupt you, Bernice, but you're sounding an awful lot like my aunt right now.
You're what?
You know, like my mom's sister. I ended up living with her for a while after my parents died. They always used to tell me I should learn how to ride, you know. This hammer was the only thing I ever had eyes for. And whenever I started having second thoughts, my aunt was there to insist I made the right choice. Kinda like me. A bit rough around the edges, you know. Never turned down a chance to help me train either. Sounds like she and I would get along. I just hope she's okay out there. I'm sure she is. I bet she'd be thrilled to know you're getting even better with that hammer of yours. So, what do you say we have ourselves a little one-on-one? See what you can do. I'd like that very much, Bernice. That's the spirit. Now come on, I'll be stronger before you know it. Oh, you missed one. Margin and Kitra, these two have a lot in common. Mighty fun statue they got here. Martin, I didn't think you'd be into this kind of stuff. I'm not really. Don't have much eye for art or aesthetics. Other than admiring the quality of the stone is all. It looks the same as any other statue to me. Figured it would, yeah. Well, the only reason it's held up this well is because of the materials it was built out of. You can tell that just from looking at it? Yup, used to be a stonemason myself, you know. One good glance and you start noticing little differences. The texture, the color, that kind of thing. At least once the paint's all worn off like this. Uh-huh. So what kind of stone did they use for this? Alcedony, far as I can tell. You mind some of the stuff over in Albion middle last centuries. Well, so they say. It must have been tough carving it all up detailed like this. Guess there's more to the craft than I realized. But now I've got to wonder, what about my old hammer? That would have been quartzites if I'm remembering right. It's on the softer side and pretty easy to work with too. That's why you see it in all sorts of buildings and everyday tools. You should know a lot about this stuff, Morgan. So she does say her old hammer, because she's promoted and doesn't use a stone one anymore. Especially for an old chunk. You don't really have to put it like that. I should promote Morden at some point, because I will probably use him. I just need the right team. But promotions and junk I'll do off screen.
Well, time together, my little Hodgick. One memory stands tall above the rest. The day you unmade the magic sigil I had drawn to defend Grand Cornier from potential invaders.
My fear may never live it down, yes, inadvertent though it may have been. The misfortune began when I stumbled over the votive offering at the heart of your sigil. Your magical implements scattered everywhere, and in their place fell the dried fish I had happened to be carrying.
I was quite shocked someone forced an army of spectral kittens rather than the knights I'd hoped for. Yet it did serve the same purpose in a sense. None can ever slip past the many hungry cats undetected. In all my years on this earth, I've never seen a more amusing sight.
It was unfortunate that pangs of laughter are the only trouble my mistake brought.
I do wonder, though, what were you doing with all those fish to begin with?
For my blade master at the time. He was a difficult man, yet I had heard he loved cats more than anything in the world. Hence I thought to lure one to the training grounds in hope of easing his stern demeanor.
It seems you got a little more than you bargained for. Still, I assume any cat would have done the job, spectral or no.
It's a fair thought, but unfortunately, he fainted the moment he saw the spirits ambling towards him. The day's training was cancelled, as you might expect, and I found myself faced with a rather lengthy suspension from duty.
That explains why I didn't see you for some time after that. Still, a lover of cats was a deathly feared spirit, and perhaps this blade master was a more timid man than we led to believe.
The conversations in this game are both, I think, like, less and more interesting than Fire Emblem. Because most Fire Emblem things are real, like, characterizing conversations, right? They are, like, about something serious, or not even necessarily serious, but they're about something, like, intrinsic to the character, and they really pull something out about them. These are just casual conversations, for the most part. Like, some are deeper than others. But they really show you what these characters are like as people, rather than just, like, their defining aspects. Like, what they're like on the day-to-day, and I really like that. I just wish there were more of them. But there's already a lot.
Poke, poke. Wow, your belly is so big.
That tickles.
Kids, time to go.
Ah, man.
Am I who's it again, Uncle Martin?
Like you even have to ask. I'll be back before you know it.
Poke, poke.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm just giving this old wine barrel a little nudge.
You've got some nerve, girl.
Why are you so big anyway? Probably because of all the drinking, right?
Ah, it's none of your damn business.
Guess not, huh? But too much booze will make you sick, you know.
Yeah. Play all you want. I'm not giving it up.
I'm not telling you to. Just maybe think about cutting back. I mean, imagine how those kids will feel if their Uncle Morden drinks himself to an early grave. Anyway, take care of yourself, okay?
Suppose I wouldn't mind easing up to them.
Cute. Everyone, make sure to follow the incredible Rosanna Hana. She's the bestest monkey you'll ever find. We're gonna give her a quick shout out because we love Rosanna. I copied nothing. Yay. Rosanna's good civilization. We love Rosanna. Rosanna, when are you streaming next? And or making easier stream Nirvana initiative? Actually, are you gonna stream ZZZ when it comes out? I probably will. The scholar who once oversaw these ruins. And you're Sylvie, yes? Indeed. Simple nomad in the pursuit of knowledge, same as you. I've heard some rather interesting tales from those who worked under your command. They claimed you were desperate for your mother's approval. That she was the only reason you ever took interest in ancient history to begin with. There's something wrong with that. Oh, not at all. The opposite, in fact. You see, I tend to grow so absorbed in my studies that I often neglect the world around me. Friends, family, everything. I was hoping you might teach me. Show me what it means to care for something beyond your own self-interest. Not sure I'm qualified for that. I only ask one thing, Hawk. Speak to me about your mother. If I can better understand how you truly feel about her, perhaps I can learn to take advantage of such emotions myself. Strange. Most people simply grimace and walk off at the first mention of her. They certainly never ask to know more. Fascinating. Why is that, I wonder?
Because he has a complex. I couldn't say, but I don't mind talking about her if that's what you want. Under one condition, you have to listen to every word of it, no leaving partway through.
I think I'll be able to manage that.
Just also have a ZZZ character. I mean, there's a shark maid, so you tell me. I'm also interested in the bear. There was another one that I thought was cool. I don't remember who, but yeah, the shark maid is really on for me. I'm going into ZZZ like really blind, other than knowing it's really cool and gonna be really, really just funny. I didn't even look at the characters until like last week. But I'm very excited for it. I'm just full in on Hoyo at this point. If they put Tales of Themis in the or Tears of Themis in the Hoyo launcher and make just a PC version, I will probably go back to playing it.
Now, where could it be? I'm certain I had it with me last night, meaning I must have dropped it this morning. Although it was stolen from me.
Hey, you okay over there?
Leave me be. I was in bad enough mood already without a foul bandit asking about my well-being.
Let me guess, you got something swiped off you. If so, keeping next thief around is probably your best bet at swiping it back.
And why would you help me? We barely know each other. You must have an ulterior motive. But what is it? Healing? Or maybe some sort of medicine?
Enough with the damn questions. It seemed you needed a hand with something, so here I am. Now come on, what are you looking to get back?
One of the only 6 possessions I have to remember Lord Gislan by.
You mind telling me what it looks like?
I was a fool to have ever asked for your help.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Searching's always quicker when you've got an extra pair of eyes. Go on, bot. Oh, no, not timeout. Damn. Bye. Still can't believe we found it under your pillow, though.
Laugh at me one more time and I'll personally make sure you never laugh again.
Real scary. Anyway, I better get out of here. Don't go losing it again, yeah?
All of that, you didn't even ask for a reward. Know what I'd expect from next bandit.
Yeah, I'm excited for ZZZ. It just looks really, really cool. It looks like... Honestly, it looks like what, combat-wise at least, like what HI3 would be if HI3 was, like, not over a decade old. I really wish they'd remake HI3. Or, like, make it an anime or something. Because, like, I'm enjoying playing it, but I'm enjoying playing it despite what it is, you know? Eldalinde and Linzalagos out here.
Hey, Royal Linzalagos.
Is there else I can help you with, Telas?
Merely something I wish for you to know. It concerns our time together as children.
Go on, then.
Amidst all those hours we spent roaming the city, enjoying our time together until the sun made its nest beneath the horizon, I often thought of you almost as a brother of my own. Yet even as a child, I knew what would happen if you ever learned I was our nation's Tyrannos. No longer would I be able to treat you as the second sibling I never had. Thus I withheld the truth rather than bear its consequences. It was an act most selfish of me.
But tell us.
Even now I yearn for the childish innocence we've long since lost. You may now stand a member of my personal guard, but I so desperately wish you could be my brother instead. Granted, such thoughts are hardly appropriate given our social distinctions. Yet I would ask that you indulge them all the same, one final time. Please, Linzalagos, let us relive our youth, then never speak of this again.
I'm proud of you, Ottolinde. With everything you are, and everything you've become these past 10 years. I'd like you to know that our time together was just as important to me as it was to you. The memory I treasure greater than any other, for as long as I walk this sacred earth.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm also surprised that they kept part 2 in the current app. Like, there have to be so many technical limitations holding it back. And it might be just because, like, well, they were making ZZZ and they didn't, like, want it to overshadow or compete. But yeah, no, I've said a bunch of times, like, I'm really surprised that part 2 is in the same launcher, or not the same, the same game. It's so old. Yeah, thus far, as of the beginning of chapter 13, I really don't feel like it has gained anything from being a game. And the, like, coolest moments of HI3 are the animated cutscenes or, like, the Second Eruption manga. So I really do feel like it would be, I don't know, it would be better, like, as an anime. It would have less hurdles, I think. And it would probably do gangbusters. The Bronya Hersher of Reason cutscene is incredible, even now. It's low as shit quality in the game. But it was really good. No, this isn't right either. Why won't you work, damn you? What was it that she always used to put in here?
What's all the grumbling for, Ock?
Ha! You're that witch from the swamp. Hey, get your hands off my notebook.
A recipe, Last I heard, they only eat the stew in the more remote regions of Cornea.
A local cuisine, then. I'd always assumed my mother created the dish herself.
Well, you'll be glad to know I've actually had it. It's strangely sweet, yet addictingly acidic at the same time. And while its key ingredient is rather quick to spoil, we should have a fitting substitute somewhere around here. Aha, this should do just the trick. Care to try it?
Why are you doing this exactly? My culinary troubles should be of no concern to you.
Oh, just wanted to help a young sorcerer in need. Don't read too much into it. So, shall we?
I suppose we can test it out just this once.
How's this?
It's close, I would say, but far too sweet.
Yes. It seems I'll have to use a little less honey next time.
To be frank, I can't keep eating this. I feel I'll forget what my mother's version ever tasted like.
Oh? Those must have been some memories indeed. The spoonful of soup is enough to wash them away.
You dare mock me? Bring it here. I'll drink the entire bowl.
Be my guest. He really is an arrogant child. Yet for some reason I can't resist helping him.
I really expected by now us to have gotten more information on Ock's mom, or at least his brother. And I really wonder if we will ever see them. Like, his brother's apparently, like, super accomplished, so he might just be, like, a later game general? But I do hope they show up. And aren't just a, here's a characterization aspect.
Your quill, your notebook, your gloves, small pouch, an old button, a pendant you received from your wife. All that remains of you now are disjointed possessions and fading memories. This is really interesting, that in the one we just did for her, she said one of 6 possessions left of him. And now she actually lists them in this one. If I could only hear you speak of them again, but one more time.
Praying to Ghislaine, are you? How's your faith in him continue to hold true despite everything you witnessed under his command? Because they were doing it for progress. Like, Ghislaine was right. Like, I have no other opinion. Ghislaine was right to do what he did.
Yes, that is so telling you will make any difference.
Forgive me, I didn't intend to speak of him so coldly.
Now you pretend to care, Fine, I'll tell you. I once had 2 sisters, both around my age, till the plague took them from me, of course. Despair clung to me like a foul smoke. Onward I walked to the settlement where the plague first arose. It was at the gates of the settlement that Lord Ghislaine saved my life.
And thus you chose to serve him in order to repay your debt. It were the victims of his experiments, not innocent civilians like your sisters. We will support such research.
I mentioned before how Lord Ghislaine lost his wife to the plague, yes? Well, this is what she told him the day she fell ill. Once I'm gone, use my body however you must. Find a cure, and deliver our lands from the curse which blights them. At first he refused, as any loving husband would, but after much internal strife, he tearfully did as she asked. From that moment forth, he resolved to forge a path only he was capable of walking. He despised the disease with every fiber of his being, and would stop at nothing to see it eradicated.
My thing is, like, they talk about him, everyone but Tatiana, like, still talks about Ghislaine as if he was what the rumors said he was, like he was spreading the plague. He wasn't. He didn't give anyone the plague. He quarantined people that had it, and once there was no saving them, he researched, he did actual, like, experimentation to cure the plague. It's like, it sucks that, like, he probably did do awful things to people, but only once they were, like, there was no saving them. And he would save other people. Ghislaine was just right.
Even enlisting the help of that horrid necromancer to do so. As things stand, there's little point in questioning the decisions on my part, of my past. And soon after joining your army, I received word from my men that they had completed the cure. Lord Ghislaine's wish has at last come true. We have repelled the plague and the horrors of its reality, and for now, that is enough.
Despite his methods, it's clear to me that your lord acted with naught but the utmost conviction. Pray, forgive this old soldier his ignorance, and please, do what you must to honor Ghislaine's memory.
I will.
It's a shame we had to kill him. Do you even know who you're talking to, kid? I'm working for the Liberation, and I'm not paying a single damn gold.
But, sir...
Quite the conversation you're having here. Yeah? And who the hell are you? Soldiers of the Liberation in earnest, unlike yourself. Oh, well, you see, I was just kidding about that. Pretty funny, right?
Ah, what a fine tavern that was. The wine up here in northeast Cornea is simply to die for, wouldn't you say?
Perhaps if I was able to hold my liquor better, but our fury has begun to get the better of me.
I don't believe that for a moment. Still, it's been some time since we last shared a drink like this. Do you remember our previous occasion, Sir Joseph?
Well, of course. I practically drank the entire tavern dry, and grew rather unruly as a result.
It was an embarrassing memory, yes. I was still young at the time, just after Cornea had fallen in True. For countless days I awaited orders to commence the final assault against Zenoira. Such orders never came. Before I could even realize what was happening, my province had been conquered. And the nobles of our land each bent the knee to Zenoira, one after the next. 'Twas peace, or so it seemed, yet I knew it was little more than a fragile artifice. Even so, it wasn't long until the rest of my order swore fealty to Galerius. Such an outcome came as a shock, of course, but I realized that I could no longer trust those I once cherished. All the while, my mind was flooded with thoughts of the fallen. Would their sacrifice mean nothing? Despair haunted my every action, and my only comforts lay in flagons of ale and drunken fights. I'd become an empty shell of my former self. I even attempted to pick a fight with you, if memory serves correct.
You did, but it was obvious you had drunk far more than you were capable of handling. I suppose it's fate in a way. Never would have met if not for that quarrel.
Damn, so I really want to play. Now leave her alone. No, she wants to finish Mass Effect. She's also just not in like a collabing mood, which is fine. Soleil's good civilization. We love her.
I will not begrudge her doing her own thing.
It wasn't much of a fight, of course. You knocked me flat into the wall, and in so doing returned me to my senses.
At the time, I was scouring furthest for support of a resistance which may never have come to pass. Careful to avoid the watchful gaze of Zenora all the while. If I may, Clive, the feats you performed in our service were far beyond those of a misguided drunk. Yet appearing as such enabled me to compel change without once raising Zenora's suspicion. It wasn't worked to my benefit in the end, both in my actions and in my finding a mentor as unfailing as you. I imagine it wasn't entirely straightforward. I stood a wanted man, after all. Indeed, you may not have realized at the time, but it wasn't your grand vision which convinced me to enlist. I merely needed something to do, a reason to act, a way to forget. All the better if I can avenge the deaths of my companions in doing so. And of course, reach a fitting end for my own life as well. I see. In any case, the shadows which once engulfed you have long since lifted. Though I presume your fiancé worries for you even now. Certainly did back then, you know. It feels as though it was a lifetime past that my family arranged for Monica and I to be married. I'm not certain you're aware of this, but she and I have known each other since we were but children. Despite my being older than her, she always treated me as if I was years her junior. I never was fond of that. Yet to know she once thought of me. She still does to this day. What a callous fool I was. Perhaps an apology is in order, then. You mean after all these years, you couldn't bear the thought? I'll not hear another word. Do it and bring her a gift as well. Simply tell her everything you just told me, and you'll be all right. Yes, I suppose so. But whatever shall I say to her? What utterance could possibly allay the grief I've imposed upon her? Ah, the troubles of youth. I'm certain you can come up with something, Clive. And so he did. Ah, wait. Interesting. Sharon and Liza in the end zone. Berengaria and Travis. Travis, you're hurt. You planning on telling me what happened or what? I overheard some people talking about stealing your armor. Thought I'd teach them a lesson, you know? Stop them from ever thinking about it again. Turns out there's not much I can do against a pack of thieves. Then why'd you even try? I could have handled them myself. If anything, I'm the one who should have gotten hurt. Well, maybe now you understand how I feel. Don't tell me this was on purpose. Nah, I'm not that eager to prove a point. Still, doesn't feel good watching the only family you've got running themselves into the ground. Does it, Ren? Like you're powerless. All you can do is to let it happen. Though I will say, I think I'm starting to see how you feel too. If one of us is bound to get hurt, I'd much rather it be me. Travis, I'm sorry. I never realized the pain I was putting you through. If you really mean that, then stop. Oh, and I'm sorry too. It wasn't how I wanted this conversation to go. Damn it all! I told myself I was done doing this to protect him, I told myself I was doing this to protect him. But maybe it doesn't matter what I thought. Berengaria is cool. I like her. I like her a lot. Hilda, I've been asked to do a little shopping in the city and I was wondering if maybe you'd like to join me. I'd be glad to, as long as it doesn't take all day. Come, let's be off. Ah, that store over there has the most wonderful galettes. If you're feeling hungry at all. I am, but we're here for lunch, Prim. We're not here for lunch, Prim. Why don't we bring some back to the camp for later? Are you sure we can't stop just for a moment? I've wanted to take you here ever since I first tried the place myself. But we haven't even set foot on the market yet, let alone purchase the things we need. I mean, arguably it's a better time to do it. Oh, come on. There'll be plenty of time for that later. Hey, quit pulling! Look at this hairpin, Hilda. It's perfect for you, don't you think? Enough, Prim.
Guess will think we've gone missing if we keep making childish detours like this. It's okay. I've already told them we'll be back late. Now follow me to the store over there. I'm sure you'll love it. This was our plan all along. Well, that should be everything they asked for. If only I hadn't taken hours to get it all. That was some journey for one simple errand. I must have gotten a little carried away there. Sorry. I guess I was just excited to be spending time with you again. But I suppose it can't last forever. Let's get back to Camp Hilda. Wait. I want to do this again sometime. On our own, I mean, not for someone else. And when we do, we'll have to pick out a new hairpin for you instead. You really mean that? Oh, I can't wait. We're almost done with Cornea until people move back in it. Hold the moment. Is that you, Bernice? Ah, it is. We've not seen each other since you left the Order. Got booted from it, you mean? Guess this means you ride for the Liberation now. It does. The time felt right now that my province is rid of its cruel lord. If I may, though, you carry quite the blade. I take it you still bear little interest in cavalry work, then? I'd rather stick to what I do best, yep. Me and horses don't really see eye to eye. I remember. The day of our training, you spent more time on the ground than in a saddle. Amusing, yes. Still, none of us could ever match your skill with a blade. Good thing is, there's more to being a knight than clomping around on some beast. Besides, I'm just a regular old mercenary now, and for us, steel's the only thing that matters. That's fair, yes. I'm sorry for even mentioning it. Seeing you just stirred up some older memories. Don't worry about it. Gotta say, though, feels good being back in the same old saddle. Seeing you on the battlefield, Adele. I can't wait. I actually don't know if same old saddle is what she said. I looked away and just believed what my mind remembered. Alright, let's go down to Elf Country. Have you ever considered resting a moment, Travis? Who, me? I'm fine. You'll not be fine if your exhaustion gets you captured by the enemy. Yes, you have a point there. Maybe I wouldn't mind letting someone else handle things for today. You always have worked yourself to the bone ever since you first joined our army. At times, it seems you care more about making a strong impression than looking out for your own health. That's how it goes for an old mercenary. If I want to keep my job, I have to prove I deserve it. I'm glad I had someone like you watching out for me. I was observing you, actually. It's the only way I could be certain you weren't a mere spy for Zenora. Sounds fair to me. That just makes me even more thankful that you let me... But that just makes me even more thankful you decided to let me stick around. You would have been fools not to. Your talent is an indisputable part of the Liberation's cause, Travis. And upon our reclamation of Cornea and His Highness's ascension to the throne, it would be most reassuring to have one such as you stand at his side. We have a long road to walk until that day, of course, yet I pray you continue to assist him for the years to come. Easy there, Joseph. You'll need to grovel. Ha, forgive me. I should be going now. Looks like I've got plenty more work ahead of me. You will be my royal spy master forever, whether you want to or not. Because that will keep your sister around. Blessed in Mandarin. I would actually like to know more about how this group gets on. What lovely birds. Sorry, can you say something? Oh, just admiring the pheasants. They look absolutely delectable. Don't tell me you forgot to eat breakfast again. Not today, no. It's just fowl's one of my favorite foods. Back home, anything with wings is considered sacred in a way. It makes sense given our fondness for griffins. So that means it's forbidden to even hunt birds, let alone eat them. Guess there's no ignoring tradition, huh? Good news is, we're nowhere near your home. How about I go shoot a few of them down for us? You would really do that? Gladly. Me and Cam will owe you a lot for dragging us out of the dirt. Besides, now my mind's set on pheasant stew for dinner. Oh, perfect. Let me get closer first, so I can catch any of the ones you hit. Celeste. I'm ready when you are. You're out of your damn mind. That's right where I'm aiming. I'll be fine. I have a lot of practice dodging arrows, you know.
Let's just hope I hit the right bird then. Yeah. The idea of like a Griffin Enclave having anything with wings being sacred is really interesting, actually. That makes a lot of sense. I do wonder where her home is, though. Like, is she Cornian? I forget if they told us. Because we've never heard anything like that before. But she could just be from like a tiny village with their own traditions. I do wonder how she had Bird in the first place then. Yeah, no, the more I spend time with you, the more I realize how similar you and Rosalinde look. Find out in the sequel, damn, you're right. I do wonder if they're gonna make because they're gonna make a sequel to this. The reception of this game, and like the reception was so positive, and like it sold really, really well. I do wonder if it's gonna be like a Fire Emblem sequel where they're not necessarily connected, it's just like gameplay wise, or if it'll be a direct sequel. I would enjoy a direct sequel. I just like it would have to be like, oh, the next continent over is doing something, we have to go over there, rather than like, the continent's been reconquered. I think that would be kind of boring. I guess it could also take the Fire Emblem 1 type approach and be like, one of your playable characters is now evil. But I still don't really know what the end game for this is, so I will not make a determination.
I shouldn't think that much of a surprise. We are sisters after all.
Well, maybe, but look, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think I get how races work here in Elheim. I also don't.
It's quite simple, really. Our father is an elf, while our mother is a dark.
Okay, there you go. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Our father is an elf, while our mother is a dark elf. And rather than combine their traits like what happens with humans, the offspring of such a pairing will either be one or the other.
I see. I mean, I guess it does happen with humans, but you also can very much get one or the other. Huh, I think I get it. So there is no dawn elf. You can only be pure white or pure black, pure day or pure night. Huh, I think I get it. But now I'm just wondering how they met in the first place.
I would be delighted to share the story if you have the interest. It began when my grandmother, a former Tyrannos, visited
Maintapelt?
the subterranean capital of Dark Elven civilization. He brought my father along for the journey, and it was there he laid eyes upon the most beautiful elf he had ever seen. Day after day he returned to the cavernous city to shower her with gifts from the surface. Fresh-picked flowers one moment, handiworks from our finest artisans the next.
He must have really been crazy about her, huh?
In time, my mother found herself drawn to the surface, and my father, of course. The two were soon wed, thus dedicating themselves to the good of Elheim and the unity of our races.
That's how a dark elf like your mom ended up Tyrannos.
Indeed, but a great many opposed her scent, claiming only the fair skin may rule our lands.
Elf racism!
Yet having witnessed the love my parents bore for each other, her fellow dark elves came to her defense. Till at last all who opposed her reign relented.
Guess it all worked out in the end.
And created quite a tale in the process, yes. Through their marriage, the age-old rift between our disparate races could finally begin to heal. Rosalinde and I actually regard it as an inspiration of sorts. The lessons we've learned from our parents carry forth in our own desire to make peace with humans, no matter how ingrained prejudice may be in our lands.
Well, the good news is we're fighting Zenora, not each other. And sure, some of your folk might not trust us that way. Trust us. That definitely wasn't what he said. There it is. Some of them might not trust us all the way, but plenty more were singing our praises when we drove those bastards out of your towns. By the time this war's over and done with, I bet humans and elves will be the best of friends.
I only hope I can aid in that pursuit, however minor my contribution may be.
Genuinely, though, I cannot believe how good this game is. And how, like, much there is to it. Like, we're 70, what now, like 2 hours in, and we still have the whole area left. And now I've done a lot of side content. I'm sure streaming has slowed it, etc., etc. But still, like, usually by this point in a game, like, as much as I loved the Arch and Elka games, right? In Arch and Elka 1, by like the 40-hour mark, I was tired. I was like, I just want to get to the end. I have not been tired with this game at all. My passion for this is the same as it was at the beginning. And I was very hyped for this, for those who remember. Vanillaware just puts out extremely quality product. Someone, help!
Bruno, what's happened to you? Stay where you are. I'll heal your wounds right away.
Appreciate it, Sharon. But first, you gotta help him.
Oh, you poor thing. There. Now it's your turn, Bruno.
Goodbye, Goat.
He seems to have been more severely hurt than I thought. Ew. That should do it.
That was some nap. Wait, where's the goat? Is he gonna be okay, Sharon?
He is indeed. The little fellow wandered off perfectly healthy thanks to my magic. But you were in far worse shape, and even lost consciousness soon after I started healing you. What happened out there?
Well, I was making my way over to a blacksmith to get my axe worked on. That's when I caught sight of the goat getting mauled by a wolf. I could have sworn it was just one, but before I knew it, I was facing up against a whole damn pack of them. I get you must save the cute animal, but the wolves need to eat too. Not even a guy like me can beat them odds. I grabbed the goat and ran as fast as I could. Couldn't save while those wolves are biting at my legs.
How brave of you.
Fella must have gotten separated from his friends somehow. Of course, who knows what'll happen to him once he's back out in the wild. At least for today, he's okay.
You truly have a kinder heart than most, Bruno. But look! It seems he managed to find his friends after all, and came back to thank you.
And am I happy to see it. Bruno's... I like Bruno. I mean, like, I will always like an animal lover character. They can't be bad, especially when they're the big macho man that has, you know, the soft side for animals. It's a trope I will literally never be tired of. Another day, another nightmare. I'm losing my mind here, damn it. Always the same thing, too. Bugs crawling all over me, calling my name the whole time. Have something to do with the liberation, I bet. I don't know if I'll ever get used to how damn nice everyone is. Well, look what we got here. Mandarin's been sleeping like a baby ever since he got a hand on that new bow. Not even paying attention to all the nightmares I've been having. I think I owe him a bit of taunting for that. How's it going there, Mandarin? That's some bow you got. People are saying you seem like a new man since buying it. Is this like the replacement he bought for the one that got knocked into the river, or is this the one that got knocked into the river? Well, I feel like one. And it's all on account of Gamel. Gamel II here. Oh? The bow. All my weapons get names, you see. Little reminders of what they mean to me. Nobody deserves the honor more than my old partner in crime. Listen, I'm not one for judging what people are into. But Gamel II, really? It's only fair after you gave me the coin to buy it. Well, oh, okay. This is, I forgot it was between them, wasn't it? When the boat got knocked into the river. Ah, well, sure, that was pretty nice of me. But you don't gotta give it my name. I do, actually. No debt goes unpaid and all that. Carved the name right into the grip the day I got it. And Hamani, you did. Still, something about this just feels wrong. So sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to scratch it out. Not happening. You said it yourself. Things have been going good for me ever since I got it. That doesn't prove I picked the right name. I don't know what will. Ah, like we're speaking two different languages here. You'll get what I'm saying if you just try it, Gamel. All you've got to do is polish your weapon up every night before bed. Call the thing by its name while you're at it. Chun Chun Maru. And like that will never let you down. Hold on a sec. You mean you've been saying my name in the middle of the night? You have. Now you've been doing well. And you've been doing it while I was sleeping next to you. It's the short of it, yep. Mantrin, You're the reason I've been having all those nightmares. I really like these two. Could you imagine if we'd killed them? Oh boy, there's still so much. Like, we've made a chunk. But, oh my god, I forgot how many there were up here. No, okay, I'm sorry. I thought I bumped into a secret, maybe. Nina and Monica.
And finished. I have a feeling Millie's going to love this. What is that you're painting, Nina? Oh, just a picture of a flower to send my family. An Edelweiss bloom, is it? Your use of color is quite striking. Do you write home like this often? Well, no, actually. I didn't even tell them I had joined the Liberation at first. I left that task to my sister Millie. But now I think I owe them the explanation of my own. The picture is for her, though. She's always adored my little artworks. I take it you enjoy the hobby yourself, then. I suppose I've never really thought about it. I only ever learned it for the sake of my schooling. Natural talent, If I could paint even half as well as you, I would gladly retire my sword in favor of a brush. I appreciate you saying so. But did you not study the arts as well? I thought that such things were tradition at just about every noble house in the land. I did indeed. I'd be glad to draw something for you if you'd like. Oh, of course. Here, I have plenty of paper left.
I like that we've gone into, like, dramatic music.
What is it meant to be exactly? The chicken standing over there. It doesn't resemble the bird at all. Even I know that to be true. I would have guessed a savage beast, yes. Or perhaps a building that's fallen into disrepair. In truth, I once drew a similar picture of the gift of my parents. And my mother simply wept when she saw it, while my father remained bedridden for the entire day following. Something of an overreaction to a mere lack of talent, wouldn't you say? I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I'm starting to understand how they felt.
We just gotta weaponize it. Put like make it into a big banner and show the enemy it as we charge forward. And when the maid spotted you stealing off this evening's dessert, you wrapped yourself in my garb and fled. Once you thought to shift the blame, yet the jam staining your lips made the true culprit rather obvious indeed. I think that's quite enough recounting of my adolescence mischief, thank you. Oh, I thought you'd be pleased to hear I still remember. I was, for the first 20 stories. It is clear to me that you recall every agonizing detail of my childhood. Now I wish to hear of yours instead. Ludwig, do you remember what you told me when last we spoke? Have you forgotten much in the years since I left? Alas, the same is true for me. My time as Crown Prince is but a clouded blur in my mind. Surely you jest. Consider it, Gilbert. The moment I fled Soldraga, my entire life changed. The clothes I wear, the meals I eat, even my own name. It's as though the Ludwig you refer to is another man entirely. In such a light, can you honestly claim me as your brother? I, who chose to wander our lands rather than bear the burden of kingship, a burden which now rests upon your shoulders. I would ask the same question of you. If you've truly renounced all that you once were, what of me? You will always be the only brother I've ever had, Ludwig. And in my belief, nothing can sever a bond of blood. Even should you remain a wanderer come the end of this war, even should I never see you again for as long as I live, yet again I met with my own inadequacies. You always have had the better of me, Gilbert. I can't promise you much, but I've every faith you'll grow to be one of the finest kings Drakenhold has ever witnessed. And if not that, then at least the finest brother. At least the finest brother. Thank you, Ludwig. That was their only one. Or that might have been the second one, but... It really is surprising to me, like, what characters don't have a lot of conversations. Like, Berengaria and Travis were ones that I would expect to have, like, 3. But I would also expect Aramis and Gilbert to have more.
Looks like this is goodbye. Wait, Ren, please! I can't keep doing this alone. Ah! You okay, Travis? I haven't seen someone scream themselves awake in years. Just a bad dream is all. I thought you were leaving me again. Oh, good. Now I'm giving you nightmares. What's so funny? Back when you were gone, everything was the other way around. I'd always dream about being in the tricorns together, fighting side by side like nothing ever happened. And what scared me most was waking up, realizing that none of it was real. I wished I could just live in my dreams, instead of alone on the outside. I had no idea. But now, no matter how bad a dream might get, you're always here when I open my eyes. I'd take that over how it used to be any day of the week. Wait, doesn't that mean you'll be having nightmares for the rest of your life? Oh, can't say I envy that. But it's like you said, better than the alternative. Well, I can't fix everything. I can stay with you. Besides, how else am I gonna make sure you're staying out of trouble? Thanks, Ren. You have no idea how long I've waited to hear you say that.
They're cute. They're good siblings. I'm gonna fuck his sister. Vladimir and Eltalinde. I don't care about Vladimir.
Ah, Vladimir. Precisely the woman I was searching for.
What may I help you, tell us?
The truth of the matter is, I've realized something over the course of our travels with the Liberation. What I once thought to be a journey to restore our home to its former beauty has, in time, blossomed into much more. No longer do I wish to return to the days of yore, but found a new Elheim, where people of all races and creeds can live in harmony.
Forgive me the query, but to my ear it sounds as though you seek to excise the roots of our very society.
I do. This world continues to change with every passing day, and we must ever strive to change with it. And I couldn't imagine doing so without you at my side.
Me? What?
If you aim to disparage yourself, stop. You're a dear friend to me, Vladimir. One whose support and whose love will not bear to be without in the trying times that lie ahead. Have I said something to offend?
Not at all, Tellus. It is merely that your kindness moved me to tears.
You did it now. I hardly thought myself capable.
Indeed, it's difficult to believe that the little girl I once knew can truly deliver such touching words.
It would seem you've always considered me that same child.
Or you'll always.
Oh, not. You've grown to be an elegant woman, Tellus. And I find Telenos at that. Well, I suppose I'm rather relieved to hear that. And what of my proposal? Will you join me, Vladimir?
Are you certain you wish to have me?
I could want no other, and I hope to never lose your loyalty, your strength, or your compassion.
Then you never shall. Come what may, I will continue to serve this nation until the light of life departs my body, both as your retainer and as your friend.
I thank you, Vladimir, from the very depths of my heart.
I appreciate that conversation for Eltalinde. I don't know, I just genuinely don't care about Vladimir. She does absolutely nothing for me. Gamel and Celeste, hell yeah. Gotta say, you never know what life will end up throwing your way. I mean, look at me. Only things I've ever been good for is stealing and murdering. But here I am, fighting some kind of righteous war, hoping to save the whole damn world.
I'm glad you chose to join us, Gamel. I've seen conflict and corruption turn so many good people to banditry over the years, including a dear friend of mine. But now all I can do is pray he's safe, wherever he is.
That's gotta hurt. But you know, I wouldn't be standing here now if it wasn't for you. If you hadn't shown up when you did, and your half a cornea would have burned to the ground. I lost everything, my sister, my town, myself. But here I am, alive and breathing. And I bet we can do the same for that friend of yours, too.
You're right. It's much too soon to give up hope. I'm glad I was able to help your sister. I just pray.
Hey, there's no time for begging the father. We'll find him.
So we will. Thank you, Gamel.
Is that an upcoming character? I don't know. I don't actually know if there are any humans left to recruit. Oh, actually, I will just follow the path down. Lymphologus and Morden. An interesting combination. Ah, that's the good stuff. Can't say I care much for the lack of meat around here, but this fruit one is really something else. You know, it's rare indeed to meet a human who can truly appreciate a fine drink. At least amidst our army it is. Speaking of wine, I hear your elves make a damn good one with the help of the divine tree here. Elvelda's nectar, yes. Though I can't claim I've ever seen a bottle of it myself. The Great Spirit only bears fruit once every few millennia, and without any advanced warning at that. As far as I'm aware, none who still live have actually witnessed the sight. Ha! Too bad. Yet you're welcome to pray for a future harvest if you'd like. In the meantime, allow for me to fetch an ewer from my personal stores. Maybe no nectar, but a man of your fine palate shall surely enjoy it all the same. Oh, Rose? Oh, no, it's Alto.
Hello there, Sir Morden. Have you come to gather mushrooms as well? What is that wonderful aroma?
Evening, little Linda. Want to join me for a little drink? Lymphologus is gonna kill him.
Cut us. Are you even listening to me, Morden? I'm not done talking to you.
Ha! Who would have thought I'd begin drunk with the ruler of the elf herself? What is the meaning of this?
Oh, I'm sorry for yelling. I just love mushrooms so much.
There, I know you do. What have you done, Morden? Not a damn thing, I'll have you know. All I let her do was take a whiff of the bottle, and this is what happened. Girl never touched a single drop. Unfortunately, fumes are more than enough to intoxicate one of her slight stature. Quite dissimilar to a heavy drinker such as you.
Don't be rude, Lymphologus.
Forgive me, Tellus.
Morden might have a big stomach, but he's got an even bigger heart. So you better not say another bad word about him, or his weight.
Actually, I said he was a heavy drinker, not...
Another enchanting fragrance, this time coming from you.
Didn't you say something about fetching an ewer? Hand it over, kid. He's been. I'll do no such thing.
Give it here, Lymphologus.
Spirits have mercy. I want more drunk Eltalinde. I require it, in fact. Adele and Celeste, huh?
Adele, wait. That was amazing.
Sorry, what are you talking about exactly?
Our last battle, of course. The jabs of your spear, your russet locks flowing in the wind. Your cute little eyes as you deliver the final strike. You're a true knight in every sense of the word, and the spitting image of the great hero you used to read about in storybooks.
Oh, that's quite the comparison, thank you. Yet I'm no hero, just a simple soldier looking to keep his people safe. And what does she mean by cute little eyes, I wonder?
In truth, there could be no greater honor than riding to battle besides one as gallant as you. The ideal picture of chivalry, charging forth with blessed spear in hand.
Please, Celeste, that's quite enough, I'd say.
It's nowhere near close. I'll continue to sing your praises from the first light of dawn till the radiant moon is nestled in the sky's embrace.
How am I meant to respond to such fearless flattery? I beg you no more. No more! I also am a fan of the flirty character gets flirted with and cannot handle it.
Oh, perhaps I'll let my emotions get the better of me. But it truly does look like the hero from my book, The Valiant Adventures of the Red Squirrel Knight. Fierce rodent warrior marching to battle astride a faithful canine steed. I can imagine nothing more wonderful.
I see. She sees him as a squirrel. Is this universe's equivalent of the warrior cats? I know nothing about it, I just know, like, so many people around me have known and been into warrior cats that I haven't even learned anything through osmosis. I just know that they exist.
Rejuvenation magic of yours is really something, Anna. Though I always thought your older appearance had a certain allure to it myself. Still, are you sure it was the right decision? You lost almost every ounce of your strength in the process, after all. What need is there for strength when you have a slew of brilliant apprentices? It was they who stood by me as I performed the rejuvenation, actually. You may not be aware, but the more powerful a magic, the more time the effort it demands. But in the days it took to forge my body anew, My apprentice has never left my side, even for a second. Had I died in that moment, Rosalinde, I would have left this world without a single regret to my name. It seems you have quite the connection with them. And that spell of yours sounds almost as wondrous as the miracle of life itself. I wish I could have been there to witness it. It's a good thing you weren't, really. Every eye would have been on you instead of me. I have to wonder, Yana. Do you really think you could live as long as an elf if you kept performing rejuvenation rituals? It's hard to say, though I can already feel my magic starting to slip away from me. By the time I'm actually old again, I expect I won't be a witch at all anymore. Well, hope I can still visit you when that day comes. Not for any sort of powerful sorcery, just spend time reminiscing as a dear friend. I'd like that very much, Rosalinde. My apprentices and I will welcome you to our village whenever you wish.
That's interesting because, like, one, we know her, I forget her name, but the general that was her master, like, lived a long-ass time and didn't look different. And also, like, her level up quote is her feeling her power coming back. Because I was also thinking she could just do this to Elaine forever and keep him alive forever. Elaine and Ramona. I don't remember who Ramona is. Ah, what a marvelous architecture! In truth, nothing can be more wonderful than the unspoiled nature of these lands. Indeed, not even Cornea can boast such verdant forests. Yet I'll not deny your nation bears far more greenery than ours, at least. What is it, Ramona? Look above up there in the sky. Never seen such magnificent birds before. Only in Elheim, I suppose. They have quite the striking features now that I observe them more closely. Like this a means of adapting to their environment. All life in Fevris has developed in such a manner. Why, speaking of birds, there exists a breed in Bastorius which can swim through the ocean with all the elegance of a noble carp. Penguin. Waddle exists in this universe. Must feel wonderful to possess the freedom to roam out of the sky or sea whenever the fancy strikes them. Alas, that particular variety of birds is incapable of conventional flight entirely. But, what illustrious glow these mushrooms boast. I wonder what they taste like. Best to ask in town if they're poisonous first. If only there were a library I could consult on the matter. You truly are similar, you know. I'm sorry. I speak of you and Unifi, of course. Your mannerisms are nigh identical. I mean to imply I'm as excitable as a teenage girl. Still, I can't exactly help myself. There's much of this world I've never seen, having lived in Bastorius my entire life. I understand how you feel. Whenever our march brings us to a new land, I'm struck by the insatiable urge to know every last detail of the region. After all, you never know what wonders may await beyond a neighboring tree or a distant mountain. It appears the two of us have more in common than I realized. It's a welcome surprise, yes. And I must admit, I'm impressed you noticed these birds at all, given how far away from them we stood. Don't be. The eyes of an owl are inherently a great deal keener than those of a human. A natural disadvantage, is it? Unfortunately, yes. But feel free to let me know if you ever discover something I haven't. So I shall. I would have expected them to start in the, in Bastorius. Celeste and Mandarin Part 2.
Step right there, vile rogue. You forget we agreed to stroll through the woods today.
Celeste?
Sorry, I think that might have been a bit too much.
Don't worry about it, but I've gotta ask, why are you talking like that damn angel does?
Well, I overheard you and O'Cleese trading barbs the other day. It's impressive, really. Two of you fight every other time you see each other, but you still seem like good friends. And I thought maybe her irritability was somehow key to that friendship.
You've got it all wrong there. First off, me and that angel aren't friends. Not even close.
You're not?
Second, when we do talk, it's usually just her swearing she'll get revenge on me. Wouldn't be surprised if she was around here now, ready to put a sword in my back at any moment. Anyway, important thing is, you're better off not talking like that. Even if you're friends with someone, you never know how they're gonna take it. If things go sideways, you might end up fighting for real.
I guess there are just some things you shouldn't say to people.
Not to mention you're terrible at it. And for what's worse, I think we're friends enough as it is. No changes needed.
Oh! Well, in that case, I'll treat you just the same as I did before.
Appreciate it. Now, what was that about taking a stroll?
Well, let's just forget it, okay? This whole situation's gotten a bit too embarrassing for my liking.
Nice try, but no takebacks. Come on, out with it.
Ugh, who's being the mean one now?
I like them together. They're cute. Alto, and Rose.
Rosalinde, wait. What seems to be the matter? Well, it seems as though you've been avoiding me of late. And whenever we do find occasion to speak, it's only ever about war, nothing else. We've yet to even find the time to have tea together. Feeling lonely without your Ionisa to keep you company, I see. Is there a problem with that? Not at all. I'm actually glad to see you so desperate to overcome my disregard. You mean to imply you've been avoiding me on purpose? Even knowing how alone I felt in your absence? I'm sorry, Vanessa. It's just too fun not to tease you every now and then. How cruel. I only ever wish to spend time with you, and this is my reward.
Pardon the interruption, my lady. There comes a report concerning the guards for your sister and... Ha!
Now is not the best time, as I think you can see.
Of course, my lady. We'll speak more of this later.
Would you care to explain? Well, there's no point hiding it now. I've asked a few of Elaine's soldiers to watch over you for me. Given what happened to Lore Hall, I was afraid that the elven guards alone would be enough to keep you safe. But I didn't expect it would take quite so long to find humans I could trust with the task. That explains why I've been so busy. But forgive me, Ionisa. While you were acting out of concern for my well-being, I behaved like little more than a spoiled child. Enough of that, please. What really matters is that you wanted to spend time with me, and of course I with you. So what do you say? Shall we head to town for that cup of tea you mentioned? I'd be glad to. Oh, there's so much I have to talk to you about.
Like Elaine. And the hardcore threesomes we're going to have. God, I hate myself. I need to see how many are up in Albion now. Actually, not that many. I guess not that many have gotten secondary conversations.
It was rather strange not having you around in recent times, Valinor. You're usually at my side morning, noon, and night, after all. And without Delinde and Alethion long since lost to me as well, I'd hazard to say it was the longest time it's been alone in decades.
Forgive me for abandoning you in such a manner, Taras.
Please, don't apologize. I'm not blaming you for it by any means. I'm simply saying I was lonely without you. That, and I know you lured Zenora away in order to protect me.
Indeed I did. There are no means too far in securing your safety. Though at times I wish the enemy had merely cut me down rather than make me their puppet. At least then I would never have turned my blade on you.
All that time I spent praying for your safety, and this is how you repay me. If you're going to say anything, I'd much prefer to hear how glad you are to return to my service.
That should be a given, Taras. There's no place else in Fevis I would rather be. And yet I'll continue to bear the dishonor of betraying you as far as I live. As long as I live, not as far as I live.
You know, Valinor, you're far too serious for your own good.
Is that Valinor or Rosalinde? Valinor. I hear Zenora really had their fangs in you, Valinor. I'd honestly expected better from the person who put me through hell all those years of training. I'd not disagree. Were my life not dedicated to Terra Rosalinde, I would surely have taken it myself by now. Not willing to fight back, are you? If it's blood you're after, Lesion, simply cut me down and be done with it. No, that's not why I'm here. I want to know why you don't stand up for yourself. Everyone knows what happened to you was Zenoira's fault, not your own. Yet you weigh yourself down with all this talk of redemption and forgiveness. It infuriates me to no end. Does it now? That's quite the change from the days you used to spend cursing my name. Seems you're kind at heart, then you tend to let on. I just don't want to watch you keep tightening that noose around your neck. You've suffered enough already, haven't you? Or are you truly that ready to die for the sake of your duty? I am, in fact, and I always have been. My every action, every breath, all of it is for her. So worry over me if you will, but I assure you, I'm no different now than the day we met. Then prove it. Show Terra Rosalinde how deep your devotion runs. Not in death, but in life.
I suppose I'll try.
Why? Why? Just because it's right here, I will do the follow-up first. Forgive me for saying, Raelinor, but I was watching the way you fought in my last battle.
Still concerned for my health,
Not anymore. It was as if your blade had a mind of its own, while you yourself moved far quicker than I'm frankly used to these days. Almost like the Raelinor of years past stood before me again, ready to scold me for the slightest step out of line.
I'm merely doing what you said, proving my devotion in life, not in death. Besides, what sort of instructor would I be if my old apprentice fearing for my safety? But I must admit I'm impressed at just how much your awareness of the battlefield has improved. In your youth, you would fly into a blind rage the moment you drew your sword. I learned that composure from you, you know. Let the fire burn within will keep my mind both calm and clear. It's the only way to protect things that matter most.
I must certainly changed you, Ithilion. How so?
As a boy, you always used to think of your allies as little more than impediments, obstacles to overcome rather than people to cherish. It no longer. Precisely the reason you've continued to watch after me, is it not?
It wasn't a conscious intent, I assure you. Though I can't deny the fellowship I feel when I fight at your side. And I couldn't just watch as you cast your life away for nothing.
Perhaps it wasn't time that changed you at all. Meeting Elaine?
I expect you're right. The man dedicates himself to serving others, and in the process, helps them grow and thrive in extraordinary ways. It's perplexing, to say the least.
It is all the more reason we must claim victory in this war, both for him and for Terra Rosalinde, and to watch them kiss.
After everything we've been through together, I could expect nothing less. Raelinor and Colm. This is gonna be... I have no idea what these two could possibly talk about. Where are you, my lady? And how many times must I warn you not to pester Prince Elaine?
Are you out here, Terras?
Oh, okay.
Your tea is growing colder by the minute.
They're pulling a toad's worth.
What if she's been hurt or abducted by bandits?
Lady Raelinor, are you searching for your liege as well?
Indeed I am. I'm sorry you have to see me in such a state.
Please, you needn't worry yourself over it. It would seem we're both held captive to the whims of our superiors.
Last time Terra Rosalinde ran off like this, she was beset by a brigand the most fierce. Naturally, her own ferocity far surpassed his, and she dispatched the man with relative ease. It was only later, when peace fell upon the region, we learned he was in fact the leader of a local bandit ring.
Welcome surprise, I'm certain. Interestingly enough, my lady once did something rather similar herself. Once taken my eyes from her for mere moments, yet she found time enough to eradicate an entire encampment of thieves. Though of course I can't say whether it was a sense of justice or simply attraction to the leader which first drew her interest.
Understand the feeling. And excitable though they may both be, both of our masters clearly bear in skill and wisdom.
Some luck indeed to be able to serve such fine women. Well then, I really should be getting back to my search.
As should I, though I expect neither of them have any need of our help.
They are both with Elaine, is my prediction. Actually, I can't do any of these. Those are all for later, because I haven't done that zone yet. I probably can. Because it's level 30, right? And most of my... I mean, maybe not yet. I know these guys are like in the 30s. And no, it's really only them in this party, I think. They're close. But yeah, we'll keep going with Pistorius. Elaine and Yana.
What's the matter, boy? Can't sleep?
Oh, not Elaine, Adele.
Ah, Yana, apologies if I woke you. You didn't. This was about to turn in for the night when I saw you leaving your tent. Let me guess, the rush of our battle earlier is keeping you awake. It's a common problem with younger knights.
You have the short of it. And well, I know I'll suffer this unease tomorrow. Here I stand all the same.
The human mind can be a cruel thing sometimes. Here, drink this. It's a concoction of mine that can quell your worries and lull you to a peaceful sleep, though I expect you'll find it bitter indeed.
'Tis quite the honor, and one I would be a fool to decline. I can only but imagine the slumber such a potion might bring. Now let's see here.
Didn't like it, Don't worry. Everyone spits out the first dose. So I always carry a spare bottle. Go on, try again.
Must I? No, I can't let her kindness go unrequited. I apologize. I don't know why I have, like, intermittent hiccups today. Summon your courage, Adele. Prove your worth as a gallant knight of Cornea.
I've never seen someone invoke chivalry to stomach one of my medicines. Maybe I should put some effort into the flavor.
She's gonna make Dayquil and NyQuil. I guess that would be NyQuil, not Dayquil. Get up. Aubin and Jeremy, we're finally getting to the Aubin parts I promised Hope. Not often I go picking a fight I wasn't paid to start. I got something to say to you, Jeremy. It was real pitiful watching you beg for your life while all your men lay dead around you. I get you were trying to survive. That doesn't mean I gotta like it. So what? Just because my men were gone, I should have asked to go with them. Sorry, it wasn't gonna happen. Besides, the boss knew damn well what he was getting when he took me in. And what if it was your own family lying there? Would you still have acted like they were nothing to you? Of course I would. There's no point being all righteous and honorable if it's just gonna get you put in the ground. So yeah, I'd leave them just like anyone else. Fair. That's how it goes when you've got a good man. When you've watched a good man take his damn morals to the grave. Nobody gains from that kind of sacrifice. Not the person doing it, not the person he's doing it for. So keep looking at me like I'm the scum of the earth if you want. This is the only kind of life I know how to live. If you don't like it, try telling the boss to put us in different units for once. Gotta say, it does make me wonder. What would I do if Miguel and Eliza went and got himself killed? And who was it, that good man he was talking about anyways? Well, they're dead, so we won't get them in the army. They've got another one. Good friend.
I heard you got into another fight, Kitra. And with more mercenaries, no less. I was hoping you wouldn't find out about that. What about your promise? You said you'd be careful with your words. Do you know what those mercenaries are calling you now? A rabid liberation dog. Well, if they weren't talking about me behind my back, that's not an excuse in you knowing. Do you know how much trouble you've already caused the Knights of the Rose? Most of the other orders want nothing to do with us now, likely in fear of what your hammer might do to them.
I don't know, maybe they should stop being bitches.
Who cares? All this etiquette stuff's never been my thing, and it never will be. Same goes for the princess, you know? This isn't about etiquette, Kitra. You can't just keep lashing out at even the slightest provocation. Then you make enemies with the wrong person, and push them to do something drastic. They might even try and ambush you. What then? Isn't it obvious I'd smack them in the next week? And there's your problem right there. Violence isn't always the answer. If you'd only learned that, maybe the rest of our army wouldn't turn and walk the other way when they see you coming. Do they really do that? Now, it's time we start working on that self-restraint of yours. How are we gonna do that? It's simple enough. Take a look at these. And the mercenaries in our army write down all the grievances with you. It only came out to, 500 pages. You've gotta be kidding me! What we're gonna do is I'll read out each complaint one by one, and you just have to stand there and figure out how to manage your emotions while I do. Hold on, Fran, I never agreed to this. Oh, what surprises await for us, I wonder? Don't you dare! First one belongs to one of our archers who's chosen to keep themselves anonymous. Kitra never helped sharpen the weapons, so we always have to do it instead. Next is from a soldier who spends much of their time on cooking duty. So it's anonymous, but I think you can guess who it is. It would be wonderful if Kitra could please stop eating 3 people's worth of food in one sitting. Nah. Poor Chloe. Patience, Kitra. We're only just getting started. Now, the next is from an unnamed warrior who... I'll write it, get it already! I mean... Why? I don't think she needs to help sharpen weapons, though. She uses a hammer. That's quite a quandary. What's wrong, Yana? Well, I bought some new clothes over in town, but turns out they're much too small for me to fit into. I tried offering them to some other soldiers of ours, but nobody seemed especially interested. So here I am, stuck with an outfit I can't wear, and no one to give it to. In that case, do you mind if I take a look? Be my guest? You can even try it on if you'd like. If I were something Yana picked out for herself, maybe I can be just as charming and mature as she is. Here you are, Chloe. Oh, this is a fair bit less fabric than I was expecting. I'm not sure if size can really be an issue. There's barely any clothing here to begin with. You would think not, but it was still rather tight around my waist. Though a Thunder girl like you should have no problem with that. Go on, try it.
Hips for days. Hips for days.
If you say so. Don't do it, Chloe. There really are some things the world's not meant to see. What's that supposed to mean? Please, Chloe, you have plenty of charm as it is without resorting to such revealing attire. You too, Scarlet?
Wait, why were they... Were they, like, hiding in the bushes waiting for this conversation? Elise and Jared. Stream still up? Okay. I was having connecting to chat issues, so I was checking the internet.
What? But you're...
Why? Do I know you?
Whittling, thinking letting a bastard like you walk free in our ranks.
I remember now. You're the mercy from that gambling den.
One and the same. Wasn't there for games, though. I was helping a friend.
Trust me, I can tell. Nobody bets like that if they've got their eye on actually winning.
Keep talking if you want a blade in your neck. Still haven't forgotten what you did to me.
Come on, don't be like that. I was just having a little fun.
Fun? You were cheating and dragged me in your mess because of it.
Maybe so, but last I remember, your friend slipped out no problem during the brawl. Seems you should be thanking me, don't you think?
I should be punching you in the gut. That whole fight, you kept pushing people off on me. It was pathetic, not helpful. That's how you're gonna do things here. You'll be out on the streets before you know it. That's a promise.
Fine by me, long as you think that'll keep you safe. Besides, you never know what might happen in battle. Better looking after yourself than dying to help a guy like me.
Well, look who's trying to be selfless.
That's not it at all. All I'm saying is I'll never be someone who goes marching to his death to save his friends. Not like you. If you don't like the sound of that, you're better off just leaving me behind.
Not sure if you're clever, or if you're a few coins short of a purse. But I guess I don't mind letting the past stay in the past. Just know you won't get off easy if it happens again.
Whatever you say. Through the desert!
Liza and Clive. Ooh, this is gonna be an interesting pairing, actually.
I managed to find everything I was looking for, but I admit it was all rather pricier than usual.
Yeah, that's because you got swindled.
I'm not sure I understand.
Right, I guess it's not much of a thing where you're from. Here in the desert, it's harder coming by the essentials. The merchants will try and charge you extra for them. The one who conned you must have been pretty new at it, though. Guy could barely keep a straight face. But you still bought the act, hook, line, and sinker.
I was giving her like a southern accent last time, right?
It's not a wet stand in the world worth 5 times the going price.
It's still not, it's definitely not the voice I was doing. So I did think it's somewhat strange.
Next time you're better off walking away if something don't feel right. You make sure that you make the same mistake with Susan Vick, and hopefully Seattle every less coin you own. She's Australian now. By the way, I turned your friend from earlier over to the town guard. I watched the whole damn thing go down after all.
You mean to say you witnessed me falling victim to the deceit and you did nothing to stop it?
More or less, yep. Hey, at least I got the rest of your money back. That's enough for another 4 whole whetstones.
Indeed. It would seem I should thank you, both for retrieving my gold and for alerting me of the myriad dangers of this desert.
How about you pay me back for it then? Maybe we can spend the extra coin on a fancy little meal in town.
As you wish. Let's be sure to choose a reputable establishment this time, I don't know how I forgot how to do Southern and ended up with Australian. Magellan and Liza. But yeah, hope you can forgive me. We've done one like this, but was it Magellan or was it Gloucester? That's what you've been up to, Miguel. Apologizing to everyone you wronged until I had you on the leash. Yeah, most folks would believe the truth when you tell them it'll happen. I'm sure I didn't. Or Archer didn't. I called a lie plenty already, yep. And the ones who did buy it took the whole thing real hard. But finally back, Liza. Finally me again. So I can't just pretend like nothing happened while I was gone. Besides, my own damn fault villains in order to sink their teeth into me. Maybe. I didn't help when noticed you. Well, I didn't help I didn't help when I noticed you were acting funny. God, I can't read. All I did was accuse you of turning on us. Kinda had just gone over and smacked you out of it. I'm glad you didn't. I imagine how I'd feel waking up to find you died trying to stop me. Not sure to keep on living after that. Probably would just ended it all then and there. Miguel and I am coming with. Next time you go out apologizing to people, I bet they'll be more willing to listen if you got me around. Yeah? Thanks, Liza. I never said you could hug me. Listen, I'm proud of you for hanging in there all the time I was gone. You better be, and don't ever even think about leaving me again. I won't. Promise. Oh wow, we're ways away. Magellan and Liza Part 2! Well, looks like that's the last of the apologizing. Never could have done them without you, Liza. Thanks. And if I'd let you keep embarrassing yourself alone. It took me back, though. I still remember taking you around to meet the other Scorpions years ago, when you'd only just picked up that crossbow. But now look at you, leading the whole damn gang while I'm barely even on speaking terms with them. Ow! What are you punching me in the arm for? Makes me think, if you can handle all that, then you'd be plenty fine once I'm gone. Gone? You're saying you're not coming back with me once the war's over? I never claimed I was. I've got plenty of work to do tracking down everyone who left the gang while I was out of commission. So I was thinking. You clearly haven't been thinking anything. You promised you'd never leave me again, remember? Slow down there, Liza. No. You didn't know why I worked so hard keeping the Scorpions together. It was so you could still have a gang to come home to. I really did hate you for turning on us. But deep down I always knew you'd be back. No matter what people said, I defended you. And now you're just gonna leave me again? I'm sorry, Liza. Guess I shouldn't have gone phrasing like that. I'm not leaving. Not for good, at least. Just gonna make my peace and come right back. What? That's what I've been thinking about. When you handled the gang while I was gone. I realized how much you cared about me. This isn't funny. I thought you abandoned me, Miguel. Hey! That's what I get for worrying about you. I already said you're not doing this alone. Don't even think about rolling off without me. Sister of mine sure is something. But I couldn't ask for anything else. It must be nice to have siblings you care for. Ramona and Fran. I momentarily forgot who Ramona was again until I went internally. I forget who Ramona is, and then went, oh right, I said that like 20 minutes ago. What winter and heat! I've never experienced such a sensation in all my years. That's a good girl. You must have really needed that. What are you doing out here, Fran? Oh, just letting my griffin take a little dust bath. It's the easiest way to keep her feathers clean while we're out on the march. Though I think she got a bit too excited about seeing all the sand in one place. You hear that, girl? Or head back to camp. Ooh, what is this primal instinct coming over me? I'd like to take a dust bath as well. To feel the sand between my unclosed feathers without so much as a care in the world. I must admit. Come, Ramona. You are no simple bird, but a dignified bestial. Yet when else will I have the opportunity? Perhaps I can indulge just this once.
Ramona, His Highness would like to speak with you.
Madame! It's not what it seems like, I assure you. Just look away while I put my garments back on, please.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I didn't realize you'd be taking a dust bath yourself. But I can't exactly blame you. My griffin loves them too. In any case, I'll let His Highness know you'll be there soon.
What utter embarrassment! I'll have to remind myself to never visit this bewitching desert again. Maybe just be more aware of what you're doing next time. There's nothing wrong with pleasantries in life. Well, look who's gone and grown up. Feels like yesterday you were just some little brat hiding in your brother's shadow. Of course, we were all brats back then. Remember the days we spent swimming in the oasis? You, me, and McGillen, and a shred of clothes between us.
Wish I could forget, but some bastard never let me live it down. Why'd you abandon us, Alban?
I was chasing a dream. Some idea got out of a storybook the old boss gave me one year. Couldn't read a word of what it said, mind you, but I always loved looking at the pictures. Especially the oceans. The whole thing was about a hero sailing the world, finding new shores. And while most of us desert folk ended up turning to crime, I wanted nothing more than to be that hero. So I hopped on a ship, went all over with one of the nicest captains you could ever imagine. It was Honora who took our boat, that is. Been living as a merc ever since.
That's not what I asked. And for the record, I know all about that dream of yours. I want to know why you didn't take me with you, damn it. You promised.
I did?
Don't tell me you forgot.
Look, even if I wanted to take you, you were what, 7, 8? Ocean's no place for a girl like that.
Gah.
I did bring you something, though. Some kind of stone they say you can only get outside of Everest.
You think this'll get me to forgive you?
Okay, so there is an outside of Everest.
Well, you're dead wrong. I don't want you damn rock, and I don't want your lies either.
That could have gone better. Guess I've got Miguel and the old lady to thank for going soft on her all these years.
You want a necklace out of this, huh? I don't know that I can do it, Liza. That's weird. Last I heard, people were saying you're the most skilled hand we got. Alright, fine. Just give me a few. Well, how'd it go? I love it. Thanks, Kitra. Not sure that boring old stone was worth all the effort, but hey, whatever makes her happy.
How many honors are we at? We started at like 60. 123. I think we might have started less than 60. Oh, I will check the VOD because it'll be. I want to know.
I've never experienced such sweltering heat in all my life. It is pretty rough out here, dear. We'd better start heading back to the oasis. I understand this may be a rude question, Dina, but aren't you troubled by all that warm fire? Even if I was, what exactly am I supposed to do about it? And don't you dare say I should cut it. It'd be like telling you to scratch your own skin off. I didn't mean to cause offense. Finally, I think the sun's just making me more irritable than usual. And you're not wrong either. It's tough living with a thick coat like this outside of Bastoris. Reminds me of an old friend, actually. I love to travel, and eventually ended up down here in the desert. By the time he came home, his fur was short as anything. Apparently, the summer coat is what kept him nice and cool through all the heat. Then there's your answer, yes? Go on, shed. I can't just do it on command. Adjusting to a new environment like that takes months, not days. Don't you mind not standing so damn close? That armor of yours is hot enough to grill a steak on. My apologies. What about you? Even though you're cutting that hair, ever thought about cutting that hair of yours? As though it could possibly do such a thing. I have let it grow for many moons in order to resemble Terra Rosalinde. And it shall take far more than a little perspiration to break my conviction. Guess I'm not the only stubborn one around here, huh? But maybe it's more loyalty in your case. Either way, the only thing we can do now is deal with it together. That's an interesting pair, but I can see it. Ooh, Ren in Virginia. Stop right there. Well, look who it is. Prince Gilbert's prized hostage. They really have to be so incessantly aggressive. That's hilarious coming from you. Do you need something? I want to know where you're skulking off to. You're not planning to sell substances in Oira, are you? Good guess, Princess, but no. Betraying the liberation's not in my best interest. And if it were, you'd never even see it coming. But don't worry, I'm not looking to cross the Prince, or Travis for that matter. Heard there's some bandits making camp to the north of here. Thought I'd clear them out before it became a problem. What, that's it? Then let me join you. Not a chance. You're doing plenty already guarding the camp. Besides, I'm not too keen on babysitting a royal pain in the neck. Sorry, not what I meant. I'm just used to fighting alone is all. You don't imply I can't handle myself in battle. That's not it. Our countries have got enough bad blood as it is, Virginia. Imagine how much worse it'd be if you died on my watch. You don't need to explain my own affairs to me, thank you. I'm more than capable of pulling my weight against a lowly band of brigands. Suit yourself. The way I hear it, these bandits put traps all over their camp. One wrong move and we'll end up tied up in a cage, or worse. So if you insist on coming with, I need you to follow my orders down to the letter. Think you can do that? You forget who you're dealing with. It won't be a problem. Guess she's actually pretty reliable as long as you keep her reined in. What was that? Oh, nothing. Now come on, we've got work to do.
Where's the next one? Oh, there was one down there. All Ben and Dina. You following me for something, Dina?
I'm surprised you noticed. I want to know what you're doing out here all by yourself.
Back in the day, me and my friends would come down to the shore every night, talk about what we were hoping to get out of life. Though I'd come by and relive the memory. I thought I'd come by and relive the memory.
You must have cared a lot about these friends of yours.
More than my own damn life. Always have and always will.
Even if they weren't the same race as you. Because me, I still can't bring myself to trust humans. Not fully.
All of us were born right here in this desert, you know. And the second we had the whole world treating us like thieves and lowlifes. Not to mention what it's like actually living here. See a lot of good people die way too young. And every day's a struggle just to keep on surviving. Stuff like race never even crosses your mind.
Huh.
I know you got plenty of history, Dina. Plenty of humans who did you wrong over the years. I won't go saying you need to trust me right away or anything. But I'll more than earn it. I can promise you that.
You already have. When you said you never think about Ace, I could tell you really meant that. Besides, I know what the eyes of a liar look like, and those aren't it. Guess I've got some work to do myself.
We all do, Dina. That's what makes life worth living. And here I thought I was going to be thinking about old memories tonight, not making new ones. Aha! We're getting past racism. Ooh! Hold on, you Neefy. Hey, where the fuck is it? Just down the road! Right down the road! Right down the road! Right down, bye-bye!
That's some wyvern you got there, Hilda. He's gorgeous, really.
Oh, you've a keen eye for beauty, then, Mr. Army. Though he was always rather admired for his looks back home, especially when it came to battle. There's no sight quite like a wyvern tearing an enemy soldier apart.
Yeah, I can barely take my eyes off him once he gets going. People must really love wyverns where you're from, huh?
Unfortunately, no. Let's consider them fearful beasts and stay away as possible. Few humans are willing to ride them, and even fewer wyverns are willing to trust us.
Guess that makes you two pretty special.
Yes, in a sense, it was almost a stroke of fate that we met. I was still but a child at the time, and a gifted child at that, if you don't mind my saying. The other children always resented me for it, took their frustrations out on me day after torturous day, till one day I couldn't stomach it any longer, and ran off to the hillside where wyverns were known to nest.
You mean by yourself?
Indeed, I rightfully assumed my tormentors lacked the courage to follow me, but upon finally reaching the hillside, I came across an all too familiar scene. The wyvern here, the most handsome of his brood, was being viciously attacked by his very siblings. It was a surprise, of course, to see the natural world behave as cruelly as our own. But that shock soon gave way to blind rage. I found myself foolishly attempting to intervene in the struggle. Mere moments before the creature's claws pierced my skin, my friend here ushered me upon his back and took to the skies. Needless to say, we've been inseparable ever since. And after we returned home, my own harassers never dared speak ill of me again.
Huh. I never realized you had so much in common.
Well, now you know. There's none I could ever even trust. There's none I could ever trust more in all the world. We'll finish all of Drakenhold before we go back to places, I think. Oh, more Ninkature again.
And there, that should do it.
What are you up to, Kitchener?
Oh, just helping the town out with a little favor. They need a hand fixing the bridge, so...
Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it yourself instead of coming to me? Let's see here. You know, this is actually some pretty fine work.
Guess I don't need your help after all, huh? One day, back when I was a kid, I got asked to fix a door for one of my neighbors. I can still remember how good it felt finishing the job, and getting complimented for it, of course. So I kept chasing that feeling, learned as much as I could, and helped out by fixing things whenever I had the chance.
Makes sense to me.
And sure, there's nothing quite like breaking a couple enemy bones in battle, but working on this bridge helped remind me how much I like building stuff too.
Turns out we're more similar than I thought.
Huh?
Your work's good, Kitra, at least for someone who's just getting started. But good isn't gonna cut it when you got people crossing the bridge every damn day. If you want a couple pointers there, I'd be glad to teach you a thing or two you can improve on.
You really mean that? I was thinking I could use another pair of eyes on this thing, but I'm sure it'll be perfect by the time you're done showing me the ropes.
Good to see you excited about it. Now look here, if you want a stronger foundation, all you gotta do is... Alright, let's work this way and to the left. Auburn and Jeremy. He didn't trail off, he just stopped explaining. That would actually be quite funny. All you gotta do is bing bang boom and you're done. What? But what did you do? I'll show you again, but you gotta pay attention, Arthur. For my best pal, Auburn. How can I help you? I want to hear about that friend of yours. The one you said took his morals to the grave. Story's not worth telling, not for me or for you. Well, I think it is. Now, come on, out with it. Suit yourself. I had a partner once, back when I was still learning the trade. Guy would never stop talking about wanting to be a knight. It's all justice, sacrifice that. Him when a pack of bandits started attacking nearby town, he went after him, alone. Of course, I wasn't about to let him march off to his death, so I followed pretty close behind. But the bastard saw me, and just as they were gonna strike the kill blow, my friend jumped in the way, took it himself. So yeah, only one person I'm looking out for now, and it's me. Didn't realize you had that rough. Well, now you know, and I don't need your sympathy for what it's worth. That's not what I'm getting at. I honestly could have guessed it was something like that. I was happy just calling you a coward instead of learning the truth for myself. I'm sorry, Jeremy. Well, first the boss and now you. Why can't everyone just leave me the hell alone? You ask me, you're all too damn nice for your own good. And you're not the ruthless dog you pretend to be. Just don't get any big ideas about jumping in front of me, yeah? You go and get yourself killed like he did, and I'll regret ever telling you about this in the first place. I hope I didn't. I hope I don't help him out of instinct, then. With the amount of units that have auto guard abilities, that's not that easy. Renal and Joseph. Long last, you found the conviction to join our march. Ah, Sir Joseph. The knight-errant Laurent, was it? I admit you had me deceived at first. But the thrust of your lance soon made your identity as clear as evening sky. It was truly that obvious. I'd hoped to stay Renal so that Laurent might, I would hope to slay Renal so that Laurent might live. It's a fucking anagram. It's a fucking anagram of his name. But seems my effort were to little avail. It's a good thing, too. Only a fool would abandon their own existence so easily. But despite your failings, you live on, ever striving for a greater future. As I've sworn to do in the Liberation's name, yes. Much promise lies in those words, Renal. And in that lance, your aptitude in which rivals even Hodrick. If I recall, such skill once earned you top honor in a jousting competition held by the Ashen Blue. Yes. With a fond memory indeed. Only pray the point of your lance is as sharp as ever. But of course, Sir Joseph. And with it, I shall pierce the heart of Galerius' foul ambitions. That was kind of boring. Beam, beam, beam. Beam, beam, beam. That's a lot of rocks. Armament sharpened, food prepared, clothing examined, pillows fluffed. Yes, that should be everything. Ah, Lady Miriam, was it?
Quite so. Pray forgive the interruption. I couldn't help but be captivated by the fervor with which you approach your work. You'll allow me the question, do you ever stop to rest, or grant yourself a moment's leisure?
Of course, what matter of attendant would I be if I neglected my own well-being? As for leisure, I've recently begun researching into how I might brew the perfect cup of tea. A labor which Lady Melisandre has been benefited quite greatly from, I might add.
Is that all merely another form of work?
Ah, but I also enjoy fishing as well. With a great pleasure indeed in snaring Lady Melisandre's favorite varieties.
That seems to be yet more work.
Yes, perhaps the only reason I enjoy such hobbies at all is a prospective benefit to my lady. Suppose I've been fated to the servant's life since the day I was born.
I can't claim much different, to be frank. Everything I am is dedicated to Princess Virginia and a livelihood. It would seem I've still much to learn in the ways of devotion. I should take this exchange to heart as I come.
It's a rare sight to witness one inspired by my duty rather than repulsed by it. Yet I accept your words with pride.
In any case, apologies again for the interruption. There's clearly much left to do.
Ah, not at all. My tasks today are already complete. Thank you, Colin, for putting up with me when I didn't want to use you in battle but wanted those support combos, so I made him eat 20 meals in one sitting. Mika? Hold on. Let me finish this so I can show you the map that's left.
It would seem an attendance work is truly complete.
We've spent the last 2.5 hours doing rapports because I made everyone eat like 20 meals in a row. This is the 3rd episode we've done this, I think. Hey boss, you gotta hear this.
What is it, Bruno? It's that kind of excitement I think I just saw a unicorn.
That's even better than that. It's gonna be a feast tonight.
On Elaine's orders, I take it.
Ah, that's the best part of the whole thing. A bunch of our mercs are secretly hoping to throw a party for Elaine, the other way around.
And I imagine they only told you on the condition you keep quiet about it.
Well, sure, but what was I supposed to do, not tell you? Anyway, I was thinking we could go on a little hunting trip, just like we used to for all the tricorn feasts.
Wait a second, Bruno. Bismarcks didn't happen to have any tattoos, did they?
Now you mention it, they all did have some kind of cocoon-looking thing on their shoulders, yeah.
Bandits, the steel butterflies. Bring your axe, Bruno. Looks like we'll have the hunting trip and that hunting trip after all.
What about the party?
Sorry to break it to you, but there is no party. The bandits just told you that to keep you quiet. Now come on, we don't have much time. You did good back there, Bruno. If not for you, we'd all be face down the ditch right now.
Shame about the feast, though. I was looking forward to throwing back a few rounds together.
There's no reason we can't still do that. Grab us a bottle or two, will ya?
Now you're talking my language. I'll bring Travis, too.
So, I believe it is only Awakening and Fates where every unit supports everyone. Awakening was definitely the first one to do that. I don't think Three Houses does, but I don't remember it enough. And Engage does not. It went back to only, like, select ones doing it. But I think there are genuinely more supports in, like, Rapports, and there's a lot more characters in this than in most Fire Emblem games. But yeah, I don't know, I do wish some characters had more, but yeah, no, I think there's already more supports in this than in Fire Emblem. Oh, I love Fire Emblem. No, I'm good. I'm alright. I don't know. I think we're not gonna probably finish Pistorius today, because I got like a half hour before I have to head off. But we're gonna get Drakenhold done so that we only have the Pistorius ones next time. Tell me, Leia, how fare your efforts of late? These conversations are actually the end of it. I've said this a few times. I was plainly, patently wrong. But it'll only be now whatever conversations the new characters get. Because other than what the remaining characters have, this is every conversation the current characters can have.
Well enough, Your Majesty. All's as calm as the princesses can be expected.
Ah, allow me to reword the question. Is there anything you desire, Leia? A simple wish, a displeasure to stifle, or perhaps a dream left unfulfilled?
Where is this coming from exactly?
Long have you dedicated your life to my well-being, yet I rarely hear you speak a word of your own aspirations.
No, I have not given the ring yet. I'm not going to give the ring yet till we finish Albion. Because I need... Melisandre's conversation is on Albion. I think Elto was on Albion, and Scarlet I can't do yet either. So there's a bunch of people I want to finish their conversations with first. So potentially next episode, probably next week, is when the ring will be given.
If there's anything I can do to better your days, you need merely say so.
In that case, I already have what I want, to serve you and our nation for as long as I live.
I still think she is from an offshoot of the Cornian royal bloodline. She's the only other person with blue hair.
I suspect you might say as much. Very well then. I've no choice but to supply you with a sizable jar filled to its brim with pickled radishes you love so dearly.
Please, my king, I can never accept such a lavish gift.
Yet accept that you shall. That is, unless you have another request to make of me.
Well, I suppose I do have one dream. I'd very much like to gaze upon a three-headed beast.
Is that so?
I knew the idea to be a fictitious one, but they appeared in every last one of my favorite stories as a child.
It is a challenging ambition to fulfill, yes. But I'm glad to hear you voice it even still. From this day forth, I shall scour all of Fevris for even the most tenacious mention of a three-headed beast. Tenuous, not tenacious.
You don't think it childish, Your Majesty?
Of course not. No dream could be too fanciful. But that is precisely what makes them dreams, you see. Now, my search shall take time, but I would be glad to provide you with literature from the castle library in the meantime.
Thank you, truly.
I hope if there is a sequel, or if there is an area besides the current map, that there are, like, just more fantasy things, and, like, we go to, like, the underworld and end up with, like, there are Cerberuses all over. No, with the way things have gone, I kind of feel like this won't be the final area, and that, like, there will be something after, maybe? Like an underworld trip or something, but it's Fire Emblem-y, so I could also see this being the end. But yeah, I hope if there is a sequel, it will be like involving a different, even more fantastical continent. Has Vanillaware ever done sequels? Not to my knowledge, but they put out a they put out a survey like a month after this came out, asking if people wanted a sequel. So it's definitely on their minds, and the reception of this game has been incredible. So I could definitely see them doing it. I know they've already started gearing up for another RPG. Come on, Travis. Put the book down for a second. Let's have ourselves a good old-fashioned fist fight, yeah? I don't know. You're not so good at pulling your punches, Bruno. Like that matters. I barely ever hit you. I guess those swings of ours are pretty easy to dodge. Think how good it'll feel when I finally land one, though. For you, maybe. I'll just be a broken heap on the ground. That's not quite my idea of fun. Oh, you wouldn't know fun if it smacked you across the face. Maybe I'll go ask Elaine instead. He'll spar with me. You can't seriously be thinking about punching a prince. I've got an idea. Why don't you read a book? You mean with all them wiggly little letters and stuff? Not a chance, pal. Just looking at that thing makes my damn head hurt. It really brings me back, you know. That's exactly what all the other tricorns used to say, too. Huh, no surprise there with guys like us. If it's not sharp and pointy, we're not interested. Is this... Yeah, oh no, it's Brangarian land. I don't know how I missed this one.
You recall when we first met, Lady Berengaria? It was during a royal bar at Castle Soldraga 10 years ago. Sorry, can't say I remember you. It's strange though. I don't think I'd miss sight of hair like that. Wait a second. I was at the ball, but the only blue I saw was a little bird perched on the prince's shoulder. That must have been you, hiding in the dark of his shadow. A blue bird? They're supposed to be good omens, you know. But when I saw one with the prince, I took it as a sign that things would turn out just fine. And yet, it wasn't long until war broke out, and our lands fell to Zanaira. Quite far from the symbol of hope you thought me as. If anything, I was more akin to a curse inflicted upon the late king for ever daring to shelter me. Easy there. I meant what I said. And while I'm not going to try and pretend to know what the king saw in you, well, let me tell you how I see it. A good omen doesn't automatically mean things will be diamonds and roses. No, a little more than a reminder that nothing comes without hard work. Motivation, then, not a guarantee. Just like the monuments we build after the war. They're not idle wishes for peace, but a warning of what might happen if we don't strive to protect it. So back at the ball, when I saw that bird, I thought about my family, about a life of happiness, how hard I'd have to fight to make it real. Can't say I'd think any different seeing you now. Anyway, take care of that hair of yours. I will. Perhaps the king himself fought for much the same wish.
I love how Berengaria turned out to be such a loving sister. I love their sibling relationship. Berengaria is really a really interesting character. She's very gruff. She's definitely very like traumatized by life, but she's very protective of the things she cares about, even if it's in her own way and at a self-sacrificing level. I like her. She's on the list of the ring. Ah, Berengaria, how are you feeling? Better, thanks. Sorry about all that. There's no trouble in the slightest. Though I must ask, why do you not stand by Travis to comfort him in his time of need? She's on the list? Well, listen, I say list, but that's just specifically for the ring. Like I've said, polyamory for the win. I'm gonna marry all of them. First, let me tell you what it was like getting put under that bastard Baltra's control. Thoughts of my brother were the first to go. I was consumed, haunted by an all-encompassing thirst for vengeance. And then silence. No cares in the world, no worries, no pain. Almost like I was fast asleep at the bottom of the ocean. My love is immeasurable, Mika. It cannot be enclosed upon one as long as all are consenting to it.
So Scarlet, Eltalinde, Rosalinde, Berengaria, Melisandre, they will all know the depths of my affection. Forever! And, like, Virginia and Fran, and a few others too, probably. Almost like I was fast asleep at the bottom of the ocean. Plus, the royal line needs to be rebuilt. It made me wonder if things weren't better off that way. Hence, you feel guilt for ever succumbing to its allure. It was all nonsense, of course. And now that I have my body back, the only thing I've got left as an honor is hate. Yet there's not a person alive who doesn't wish to let go of something. Countless souls suffer under the weight of others who expect them to be, myself included. You understand, then? After what I have done, Gilbert, I don't deserve to stroll back in like nothing happened. And no matter how much I want to pull him close and apologize, I feel wrong for even reaching out my arm. I abandoned my own brother when he needed me most. I abandoned myself, too. But I'm fixing things little by little. Getting my revenge is just one small part of that. I appreciate the concern, though. I imagine Ludwig thinks much the same as she does. Yet whether or not he feels he deserves it, there's no greater ally, or friend, than your very kin. Would that he could see it himself. I actually really like the parallels there between the sibling relationships. I really like Gilbert. That's a lot of wood. That's the amount of stone I expect. Yeesh. Tell me, Travis, why do you refuse to meet my gaze? Isn't it obvious? It's because I'm embarrassed. I'm sure you remember walking in on me and Ren apologizing to each other back when after we took Soldraga back. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Ludwig and I embraced in a similar way. I'll have you know. I guess that stuff's the same no matter what class you were born into. Indeed, beneath the crown and crest, a king is no different than any other man. I realized I was giving him the wrong voice. Makes it all the more impressive that you're running the country all by yourself. Tracking down my sister was trouble enough for me. Yet that was no minor task, and Elaine had not but praise for the manner in which you carried it out. I'm proud to call you citizen of Drakenhold, Travis. I pray that our relationship with House Zekchelm may grow ever stronger in the days to come. Sounds like we're agreed on that, at least. Oh, and if there's anything we can do for you, just let me know. Same goes for Ren. I actually get the feeling she's starting to like this place again, thanks to you. I'm honored to hear that. And I hope with every ounce of my being that one day, all of our people may feel the same as her. Oh, it's the sanctuaries. Gilbert and Virginia. I have to say, Gilbert, good to see you actually know how to use that sword of yours. Most of the time, you just stand back and let Leia and Herman do all the fighting for you. It almost made me wonder if the blade at your waist was mere decoration. But you proved otherwise in that last battle. It was a relief to hear. And I assure you, I never meant to conceal my prowess, neither from you nor anyone else. Oh, then what would you say to a little sparring match? I would refuse, of course. Come now, it would be fun. Not to mention the scandal you might face in failing to meet a challenge from the Princess of Cornea. I suppose I've no choice then. I always knew you would come around. You might act all composed and rational, but we both know you can't resist a proper contest. It'd be endearing if it wasn't so predictable. I'm well aware of my failings, thank you. But strangely enough, I only seem to succumb to them while I'm with you. No, do go on. We've spoken long enough already. If you wish to spar, let us do it now before my next strategy meeting. Don't worry, I'll make sure this is over quick. Just spare me the sobbing when you're soundly beaten. Oranus and Gloucester. It's a great honor to walk at your side once more, my prince. So Aramis, that is. Please, Gloucester, I'd not prefer for you refrain from scowling every time you said my name. Forgive me. I intended no such thing. You always have been fairly easy to read. Though you doubtless have much on your mind after our sudden parting and subsequent reunion. By all means, say what you will. If you'll excuse my bluntness, you've changed. Not only name, but swordsmanship and methodology as well. The fates have thrust you through much these past few years, yet to see it laid so bare before me. I can't help but feel an immense sadness. It's nothing to lament, I assure you. At the time, claiming a new identity was the only path which promised me survival. And despite my struggles, I dare say I would make the decision time and time again if given the opportunity. Prince Ludwig, what's done is done. But I'll admit you've renounced your past quite admirably. It mustn't be easy awakening from a years-long spell to learn you've committed such grave sins. And yet you don't hide from the truth, but face it head-on. It's a trait which I wish I possessed. I wish I possessed myself. Your words humble me, Sir Aramis. But I entreat you, don't keep the pain you feel entirely to yourself. I know well the inclination. Yet if I can't be your aid amidst times of sorrow, I have no right to stand at your side in days of peace. Thank you, Gloucester. I couldn't ask for a more earnest retainer. Very well. Your ear will be the first and only that I pull.
You can pull Prims. You're gonna marry her after all.
Joseph and Virginia is all the way out here.
You don't mind me saying, Joseph. It's good to see just how much Elaine has grown since the last time I saw him. Ever since that horrible day 10 years ago. I have to wonder, how did he fare after fleeing Cornea?
As well as you might expect. His own mother was slain, and he was made to abandon the only home he's ever known. By the time we reached Palavian shores, His Highness was fatigued in both body and mind. He scarcely ate one meal a day, and neither study nor sword work could hold his interest. Yet over time, he made friends on the island. They trained together, learned together, and reveled together in the carefree way only children can. And before I knew it, a smile had gradually returned to his face.
It's good to see he's found people he cares about. Even now, they're practically inseparable when we're not in battle.
Of course. I couldn't always be there for him myself. But even if I were, I doubt I could have even ever healed his broken heart the way they have. By the by, he'd often ask after you during your time away from Cornea. From what I could gather, he feared he may never see you again.
Really now?
Indeed. Memories of your childhood together lent him Memories of your childhood lent him much strength in troubled years. I thank the Father above for reuniting you after all this time.
Maybe I should try a little harder to connect with him then.
Keep the blood blue.
Why can I talk to the chicken?
What's the problem, Rosanna? Travis, why are you carrying all that food? Some of the locals gave it to me for chasing Zenora out of their town. I was just on my way to test it for poison. Oh? And do you do that every time? All by yourself?
I have to, yeah. Though they don't usually give us quite this much. But don't worry, I've got an antidote from Yana in case anything actually is poisoned. And I'd smell anything strong enough to kill me before I even took a bite.
Even so, are you sure you should be taking such a grave responsibility alone?
I told you, I'll be fine. What's got you so concerned anyway? Don't tell me you're only in this for a snack.
Oh, no, well...
You've got some real courage if you're willing to risk your life just to fill your stomach.
I'm sorry, it's just my sister is particularly fond of a certain kind of cake you can only buy in that town. And so am I, actually.
Go on.
All I'm saying is I can help cure you if you ever need it, Travis, and my appetite's not the only reason I'm offering.
But you're admitting it is a reason. Fine, you're welcome to do your little taste testing if you want, but I'm still taking the first bite, just in case something goes wrong.
Please don't call it taste testing.
Mau Mau vibes. Man, Mau Mau's such a creature. I love the Apothecary Diaries. There is no character quite like her besides her. I gotta read Volume 10. Ooh, Ramus and Melisandre.
And there's another one. Nobody told me the Men of the Liberation would be so handsome. He's nothing compared to Elaine, of course, but far more beauty than I expect from a simple mercenary.
Lady Melisandre of Cornier's esteemed House Maillet. You've been watching me for some time now. To what do I owe the honor?
Apologies, sir. Aramis, was it? You carry yourself quite unlike your peers, with more refinement, more elegance. It makes me wonder where you hail from. Is it a noble family, or royalty, perhaps?
By the heavens, no. I've simply learned common courtesy as to not offend the lords and ladies I serve. Though I admit I've always had a fondness for the stage. If you think me well suited to it, I'll gladly accept the compliment.
And then would you be able to play the role of a bandit instead? Or barbarian, if asked?
Of course, should one of our tactics require such a ruse, or should my employer will it.
Strange. For a sellsword, you don't seem very motivated by money. If anything, you're more like a heroic prince, one who hides his noble standing in order to fight for justice.
You think too much of me, my lady. My heart beats for gold and nothing else.
Shake him! No! Why would you shake me? Help! Help! Help!
It's been a while since I've been shooken. I love, actually, how much Melisandre is seeing through him.
If you say so. Either way, I have a feeling we'll be spending plenty more time together. I'd love to hear more about your mercenary work, what battles you've won, who taught you those manners.
And I the same regard the illustrious House Maillet. Farewell, my lady. He has a keener eye than I thought. I'm not used to being caught so unaware. I'll have to watch out for her moving forward. I don't know shit about this game, but I do know I love Melisandre. Melisandre's introduction is literally... She is an enemy unit that goes, Hey, Mr. Prince, you're hot. Alright, I'm gonna fight. We're gonna fight because we're on opposite sides. Oh, you're gonna spare me? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, listen. You don't have to marry me. But can I be like one of your, can I be one of your concubines? That'd be sick, actually. I love her. She's in it for hot people. She's down to fuck, and I'm here for it. Right. Girl knows what she wants, and she's gonna get it. I heard you had need of me, Sir Ramus. How would you have me serve? Well, I was actually thinking we could go for a meal together. I'm sorry. Elaine mentioned there being a fine tavern in that town to the north there. I'd be honored to have you join me if you're interested, of course. It'd be my humblest pleasure. She also goes because Colm, her retainer's like, Lady Melisandre, you can't, this is so awkward. And she's like, listen. I'm gonna bag me a prince. Shut the fuck up. Don't ruin this for me. Be my humblest pleasure. They'll be great for House Maillet. Shut the fuck up. An exquisite meal as promised. I'm simply glad we had the chance to enjoy it together. Now then, to camp. Is that all you asked me here for? It is indeed. But a meal, Sir Ramus. You must surely have something else you'd have me do. A moment's rest is all I wanted. Did you not enjoy yourself? That's not it at all. I merely expected something more, I suppose. A reconnaissance mission or suggestions for how to improve in battle. What need is there for such grandeur among peers? You would truly count me as such. I would. And to be frank, I wish to burden you with orders no longer. I've discarded my name, buried my legacy. In my eyes, we are not but equals. Yet I knew simply hearing the words would upset you to no end. Hence I asked you to join me for this meal instead, not as lord and retainer, but as old friends. And for what it's worth, I quite enjoyed myself. I do hope we can do it again sometime. The great Prince Ludwig turned simple sellsword. In the many years I've served him, I've never seen a smile play so sincerely across his face. It's a puzzling thing indeed, but perhaps discarding his name wasn't the mistake I thought it to be. Help me, Woden. I am being shooketh. Help me. Save me. Feels as though it were only yesterday that I walked with Queen Eleni on this very beach. As I'm certain you know, the burdens of governance occupied much and more of her time on the throne. Yet our journeys here, infrequent as they were, surely provided her with the respite she so dearly needed. It wasn't often she eased her royal countenance, but here, she would smile as if nothing could ever trouble her again.
I hadn't realized this place held such meaning to her.
Yes, that's you, my queen!
Is everything all right, Joseph?
In all honesty, no. For a moment you appeared to mine eyes as Queen Elenia herself.
Sorry, what?
I understand it sounds mad, yet, as I've said before, your resemblance to her is truly striking. And here you stand, regal and dignified as she once did all those years ago.
You honor me with a comparison, Joseph. All this talk has brought back memories, you know.
Of what, I might ask?
When Elaine and I were young, we spent much of our time playing in the garden of Grand Cornier. And while we generally got along quite well, there was one day we found ourselves in a furious argument. It was over a game of chess, if memory serves me right.
They've mentioned this game before. Virginia and Elaine specifically have talked about this.
Both were so determined to win that we each took turns making illegal moves, hoping the other wouldn't notice. But we did notice, of course, hence the dispute.
Yes. Calm as Elaine may seem at times, he has a fiercely competitive side to him as well.
On this occasion, both of us were at fault. Not Elenia punished us equally for it. She was always doing things like that, acting just as kind towards me as she did to Elaine, and just as strict, too. Almost like I was her daughter, not her niece.
Right you are.
I can still remember the feeling of her hand caressing my cheek, the warmth, and the love.
It's a sight I witnessed often as well.
My life, I've tried to follow in her footsteps. One day be every bit as strong and gentle a woman as she once was.
You're far closer to that ideal than you may realize, Princess, as proven by my vision earlier.
Say, Joseph, I can't thank you enough for bringing me here.
One day I'll hit the right button. No, 165. We're close. I said we might get to a, I mean, but when we finish all this, we definitely will, but, I said we might get to another, unit promotion through all of this, but not quite tonight, I don't think.
Well, it was good to see you. Just take care of yourself, okay?
Oh, is that the friend she mentioned? I'm patching things up.
I am, yes. Really, though, I never expected my friend once worked for you.
Ah, you and me both. Of course, he was already long gone from the towns by the time I went clean.
And now he's done the same with you. Apparently he's planning to enlist in the local militia. You've given me more than I could ever have asked for, Gamel.
Hey, it was nothing compared to what you did for me.
My friend did tell me a bit about his time with Black Talons, though. You were some leader by the sounds of it. Said you'd always divide up the spoils yourself so that none of the younger thieves would get cheated out of their fair share. And that you'd always lure away the guards whenever a job was getting too dangerous.
Ah, kid likes running his mouth, huh? Yeah, but you know, most of my gang wasn't there because they wanted to be. They just didn't have a choice, same as me. Probably explains why I was so keen to do all that stuff for them.
That doesn't make it any less kind of you. You saved their lives so many times, Gamel, and I couldn't be more thankful that you did.
Ah, enough of that. I'm no hero. Far from it.
You are to me. So please stop demeaning yourself like this.
That's not what I was trying to do.
Do you want to know what I think? I think you need to be a little prouder of what you've accomplished. Now repeat after me. I, Gamel, am proud to have saved Celeste's friend.
It's some kind of sick joke.
I'm serious about this.
Well, alright then. I, Gamel, am proud.
Proud of what exactly?
To have saved Celeste's friend.
That wasn't so hard now, was it?
Says you. I feel like I was gonna pass out. But now I guess I don't. But I guess I don't mind taking a little embarrassment.
It means being your friend. I need to remember his name. I think Gamel, Celeste, and Mandarin should have a threesome. And, like, not just purely, like, not porking only Celeste. I think Gamel and Mandarin should pork each other as well, over and over repeatedly for the rest of time. We love a good polycule. Well, what do you think? Pretty amazing, yeah?
I've never seen this much water in my life. Said in your book, I mean.
You mean the one the old boss gave you? Yep. I always knew when I got my ship, the two of you would be the first people I took on board. Besides, what's the point of sailing the ocean if I don't got my friends here to enjoy it with? So this is the dream you were always talking about. Well, was that? Looks like we hit a reef, Captain. We're taking on water pretty fast. She's going down. Ah!
Hey, which way you going?
What the? Oh, was all this a dream?
You okay, Alban? You're sweating like a damn pig over there.
Liza, you're alive. Wait, where's Magellan?
Just doing a bit of shopping in town. Why? And quit it with the hugging. You're gonna make me all sweaty now.
Sorry.
If that's what this is all about, some dumb dream will be all down in your boat.
It's not funny. I really thought I went and got the both of you killed.
Well, even if you did, I'm sure we wouldn't have minded going down with your friend.
That's not the point, Liza. I just can't bear seeing you get hurt like that. Especially knowing full well that it's my damn fault.
What are you mutting about over there? It's just a dream, Alban. And besides, you know it'll take way more than that to kill us.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, when you do get that boat of yours, you better not go sit and sail alone, you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Seems the match is yours yet again.
One victory in every 3 bouts is quite the damning proportion, Virginia. Powerful though your attack may be, you shall always struggle if you remain so blatantly ignorant of your opponent's intentions. Our positions might well be reversed if only you remember to dodge every now and again. Excuse me? Maybe so, but you can't expect me to get out of the way of everything. That's what my shields are for. All the same, you mustn't rely on that alone. The same applies in battle as well. Truthfully, my blood runs cold every time I watch you charge forth alone. That's why you always ask to keep me in your unit. Because you're worried about me. Meanwhile, they've never been in the same unit. I can't deny that. What's more, I suspect I have more confidence in giving you orders than anyone in our entire army. Even more than Elaine. It's not a competition, merely a matter of who is able to keep your violent inclinations in check. It sure sounds like a competition. You just can't resist, can you? To be honest, Virginia. What is it? Keep crushing. I've always felt you were my better from the day we first met. You fled to Drakenhold entirely on your own, held firm to your Cornian pride as a member of her royal family. Never once lost hope that you would one day reclaim your birthright. And having watched you overcome such great adversity, I began to despise my own cowardice. It was then that I resolved to never again succumb to its grasp, to don my father's mantle and restore Drakenhold to its former brilliance. Am I hearing this right, Gilbert? Are you claiming you got your competitive edge from me? Why do you laugh? Nothing. Thinking I could go for another sparring match or two. I see your lust for blood is truly insatiable. Given our shared reluctance to admit defeat, I fear this match shall never truly come to an end. That's fine by me. The day one of us gives up is the day we both lose something irreplaceable. Somehow I can't see that ever happening. I suppose not, no. But be warned, Virginia. This next victory shall be mine as well. We'll see about that. They are cute. Unfortunately, I have to keep the blood blue. Alright. That's all of Cornia and Elheim and Drakenhold. We'll finish up the things in
Bistorius tomorrow and then get back to the store. But yeah, we will be back tomorrow with more Unicorn Overlord. Hopefully finishing all these. Thursday we'll be watching Pokemon the Garden Circle Discord. And then Friday shall be Class of 09. I hope you are looking forward to that. It's going to be chaos. But yes, thank you all for coming. I hope to see you all in the future. Bye-bye now.